Exeter stomping on the bleachers. Low snap. The kick is good. Great move after the catch. First down and more. Now Coleman showing you the speed. Breaks the tackle. Still up at the 5 and in for the touchdown. Wow. He's gone. Gould showing you the speed. One man to beat. Yanico's going to break through. Yanico inside the 5. Over the pylon. Touchdown. Got a game. Pinkerton. Going to throw on the run. Weber pulls it in with one hand, and now he's in the end zone. Trying to shake off a man at the 15. He's at the 5, and he's into the end zone. Left Hindle, short pass, big hit here at the line of scrimmage. Tito in motion, snap taken, Heening, going to throw down the seam. He's got Coleman in the end zone. Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Plastow. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire game of the week between the Concord Crimson Tide and the Timberlane Owls. Round number 1 of the 2022 NHIAA Football Division I playoffs. Extra round this year, 13 of the 21 D1 teams qualified for the postseason. An expanded field, 5 preliminary games in Division I tonight. And this one may be the biggest in terms of record. Timberlane 7-2, Concord comes in at 6-3. Both have quote-unquote slayed some giants this season. Both on the wrong end of the final score in week number 9. So both teams looking to shake off a loss. But all that, of course, Steve, out the window, as it's a do-or-die situation, a ticket to the quarterfinals on the line to the winner.
Yeah, when a team that's running on a good tear during sort of the middle of the season has a loss and a lull, I believe that can continue to linger. But when you're a playoff team and you go on a run, and then the last game of the year before the playoffs, you sustain a loss, and then you're going to be playing another physical team, it's pretty easy to get motivated and really have the minds, the hearts, and the eyes of their players on their prospective teams, these coaches, and be able to fix things that went wrong. I think both Coach Corkum as well as Coach Fitzgerald said last night on our Gridiron show that they watched a lot of film. Zach Matthews' game tomorrow against Wyndham. Zach Matthews said the same thing. They all basically said this is a time to watch film, watch ourselves, and then of course Jack Byrne and Lauren Gaudette made the comment, we just can't beat ourselves. We have to correct things and make sure that we attack the other team. So I think the spirit of all that is in this game tonight, and I expect 2 offensive and 2 defensive lines, Nick, to be ferocious in the trenches. I'm really excited to see who's going to win that battle, as well as these 2 quarterbacks.
And 2 of the more physical teams, 2 of the better quarterbacks in the state, as you mentioned. And, of course, under the lights here in Plastow, the town has turned out as expected as they continue, actually, to file in from the parking lot. Really standing room only at this point. Fried dough stands, electric signs. The atmosphere is appropriate for 2 teams that, frankly, a lot of folks didn't expect to be here at the beginning of the season. Timberlane, of course, had success last year in Division II, ended up winning the Division II championship under Coach Fitzgerald. They make the jump up. Not a whole lot expected in year 1, but they come out blowing doors, 2-0, before catching their first loss, a close game against Bishop Girton in Week 3. Then they rattle off 5 in a row before being quote-unquote upset last week against Portsmouth. And for Concord, Coach Corkum takes a 3-6 team from a year ago and flips that record on its head to 6-3. And that's despite losing in both weeks 8 and 9 against Wyndham, and last week a 3-point defeat at Pinkerton.
Yeah, when Concord, we'll start off with Concord. Our first game of the year, Concord at Keene. Concord comes in and just blows out Keene 40-something to single digits. And there's no question that we saw this combination of Zach Dowd, Austin, last name Wells, thank you, Austin Wells, as well as Ilya Bahuma, and we saw an offense and defensive line that said, "Whoa, this is a team that's going to go places." We could tell after that, and then we came here and saw Timberlane and Exeter, thinking that, hey, there's a new Division II champion, last year's champion, come in and at home here and host Exeter, who was on fire. And they fought them tooth and nail and end up winning the game, down in the last seconds there. And one of the best performances I've seen all year. And then that's why we're here with these 2 teams, because they've shown that they belong here, number 1. And number 2, their style of football is just very well suited for the end of the year. But this tonight, it's almost like an early September night, to be honest.
A lot of similarities between these 2 teams.
There is.
We could not have asked for better weather conditions here in the southeastern part of the state. Nearly 60 degrees tonight, no breeze. It's been warm and sunny all day, and even better weather expected the rest of the way throughout the weekend.
Yep.
All right, we'll step aside. When we come back, it's game time between Concord and Timberlane, with a shot at the quarterfinals on the line. Back to Plastow in a moment. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And do you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
I'm Travis Kelsey, and this is Zen Water. The perfect alkaline water for sports hydration and the only water that's in a bottle that prevents ocean pollution. Ultra pure alkaline water in a bottle that prevents ocean pollution. Why would you drink anything else? Seriously, why would you drink anything else?
The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
Former and present, how we respect one another by listening respectfully to the national anthem and taking just a moment to honor one another.
Well, there it is, the Timberlane Regional High School Band. Doing a bang-up job on the heels of a nice presentation from Chris Kellen, the superintendent of schools.
Wow.
Honoring our veterans here on the eve of Veterans Day. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. Football in November. Again, nearly 60 degrees tonight here. Got the grass field. One of the more unique fields, Steve, in the state.
It is, Nick. I like to talk about it all the time because I have some history playing, with my when I coached here against the Tornadoes. Let me tell you, that 3-foot center line there coming downhill, when you have a great running back that can turn upfield, and we got a couple great running quarterbacks and some great running backs we're going to see run on that. This field, I agree, Nick, is just a special place. It has it's definitely a throwback type environment here, from as far as the grass is concerned. Very much sets the table for good quality ground and pound and trench warfare. I was watching both quarterbacks throw the ball, Nick, and I'll tell you, both of these gentlemen can do it all. They're a triple threat in every sense of the word, and don't make a lot of mistakes and throw a lot of interceptions. They make good decisions out in the field, and
both are pretty good stories. We know about
it is
Dom Capetta. Of course, his team ended up winning the Division II championship a year ago, but he was on the sidelines for that championship game with an injury, came back in the summer, and looked better than ever.
Yeah.
And obviously won the job back, and he's done a great job, and he's really considered one of the better two-way threats, dual threats at the position statewide. And then, of course, Doward has been at the varsity level for a long time, a 3-year starter, and has quite the arm, as we've seen firsthand plenty of times this year.
No question. The thing, when you look at Capetta, you kind of compare him. He's a larger version, if you will, of a Matt Sanasuazo, because they like to deliver hits. They like to pound. They like to lower their shoulder. And the beauty is, if you have the talent, you can do that in high school. Both of those guys do. Zach Doward, very much a finesse quarterback, has all the tools. I think when he rolls out and gets out by the hashes, he's just a tremendous threat for so many reasons. He hands the ball off well, decoys well, hides the ball well, and protects the football well. So this is going to be a good matchup without a doubt. That's why when we saw this game come up on the board, Nick, bang, we wanted it.
Yeah, not too often. Perhaps the jewel of the first round is the 6-11 matchup,
right,
but that may be the case.
Parity.
This weekend, given the depth of Division I, you've got Concord as an 11 seed despite a 6-3 record, and Timberlane 7-2. Despite the Week 9 loss against Portsmouth, they end up as the 6.
Yeah.
But that was a costly loss against the Clippers. It cost them a bye as Exeter ends up.
Well, they would have been home,
division.
guaranteed home for the quarters as well if they got through the preliminaries.
Instead, it's Exeter who has the week off, and the Blue Hawks will host the winner of this game next week.
Tough to swallow when you played them head-to-head, Nick, right, and you beat them. But that's just the way. Hey, everybody knows the point system when it starts, and that's how it goes. I mean, but you're
referencing a 27-23 final on this field.
We were here
back in week number 4. All right. Concord going to kick right to left here. Timberlane with 2 return men just outside the 10-yard line. This one is short, fielded on the run. It's bobbled, and it looks like Concord has it.
Wow, special teams. Now, how many opening kickoffs have we seen with special teams turnovers? That's a big one right there.
Kind of a slow-moving pop-up, angled toward the sideline. It's dropped by one of the up men, and it's a costly mistake for Timberlane. That's usually the sure-handed freshman Liam Corman, who's expected to play a big role on offense tonight as well, but Corman just couldn't quite track it, and Timberlane turns it over just seconds after the ball is kicked off. So Concord going to get the ball to start the third quarter. They're going to get the ball to start the first quarter as well. Just 2 seconds.
Couldn't have asked for a better opportunity if you're the Crimson.
Into this frame. They're at the Timberlane 30. Doward is under center. Bahuma in motion. They hand to the junior, and here he comes near side. Trying to find a crease. Cuts it up inside the 29 to about the 28-yard line. Just a 2-yard carry. Here's Bahuma. 9 games this season. Over 1,500 yards on the ground. We saw him rip off over 300 in a Week 2 win against Keene. Bottled up a little bit last week against Pinkerton, but no doubt expected to be a factor tonight.
But if you're going to stop Bahuma, you have to do what Timberlane just did right there. You've got to clog him up at the line of scrimmage. Don't let him get going. They did at least in that down.
They faked to Bahuma on 2nd and 8. And the give is up the middle. One of the big backs here for Concord, Nathan Galbraith, the 5'10", 190-pound sophomore, hitting the hole.
Saw a little of him in Concord when they played Central. Does a good support role there. Lot of beef.
Good tackle made there for Timberlane.
Big play here.
By Caleb Moley, the sophomore. Got ourselves a 3rd and 4 from the 25-yard line. Bahuma left side.
Going to be stopped near the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard, not much. A number of Owls waiting along the defensive line, including Cam Zambrowitz, the junior.
Defensive line doing a great job there, controlling the gaps right now, getting separation, getting both, getting the in the athletic position, getting underneath the pads of the Concord offensive line, and that's where they're going to get the vision to try to contain Bahuma here.
Fourth and 3. Yeah, offense still on the field for Concord. Timberlane looking for the stop. Bahuma the carry, left side, cuts it up at the 20, hit there and spun down shy, I believe.
No, I think he got
the first down marker. The Timberlane defense celebrating. The officials are going to spot it right at the 20. That's very close. And yep, you're right, Steve. Enough for the first down. I thought he was shy initially.
No.
But the spot confirms it by about half the length of the football, a first down for Concord.
Yeah, he kind of twisted his back and kind of pushed the defensive, and he just barely, I think it was a good spot. I think he earned it. But as you said, Nick, just barely.
Bahuma needed 4, got about 4.5. The junior stays in the tail, has the tail here in the eye. But first, a whistle and a timeout is going to be called by Concord. First one either way as Jim Corkum wants to talk it over. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. By New Hampshire iPhone Repair. It's done while you wait, and it's backed by their lifetime warranty. Now with 6 locations in southern New Hampshire and on the Seacoast. Visit NHIPhoneRepair.com. By the New Hampshire Tomahawks. Showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NHTomahawks.com and also girls.NHTomahawks.com. And finally, by Ghost Energy. Ghost is an active sports nutrition brand that empowers users to be seen beyond the walls of the gym. All right, out of the timeout, Concord on a 1st and 10, trying to enter the red zone. This is the speedster looking for the edge. Devon Duncan, he's around the corner. He's got a first down. He's inside the 5, and he's inside the goal line for a touchdown. Duncan able to find that second gear around the corner, takes it from 21 yards out. And just like that, Concord on the road is a 6-0 lead just over 2 minutes into the football game.
Well, you said it, Nick. Boy, did he get a second gear. I looked like he was being chased down. I wasn't sure if it was Julio or not, but wow, he turned that corner and he accelerated. Boy, they got some weapons.
Yeah, he's been dangerous all season.
Yep.
Big part of the special teams game, the return game.
So there's a 7-point turnover right there.
Yep. Yeah, the field goal, or extra point, rather, up and good by Jacob Plant, senior. He's been sure-footed all season. 7-0. So the opening kick, muffed by Timberlane, recovered by Concord. And a short field later, they're in the end zone on a 21-yard carry by Devon Duncan.
Well, if you're the away team, Nick, and you can take advantage of a kickoff and go in to score like that, you're kind of evening out the home field advantage right out of the gate, and you're going to get the kickoff in the second half. You know, it's almost got to the point, Nick, where at some point, if they pull those squib kicks, you're almost just running out of the way and just letting the thing go out of bounds or just let it roll where it is, because we have seen so many points delivered on or given away on that first special teams play.
Yeah.
I think that's 5 games that we've seen that happen, at least 4.
Yeah. Special
incredible.
teams in general has seemed more consequential this year.
Well, the better football and better disciplined football that you play, the more special teams gets elevated.
Right.
Because at that point, it's where probably most of the inexperienced players are put into the game, developing varsity, coming off the JV, and you almost have to prepare for mistakes ahead of time by just leaving the ball alone. If it's in those first 6 or 7 guys, let it go.
All right, Plant, let's see what he does here. Same thing. High, fair catch called for at the 35 and made by Timberlane. Good play there for Levi Madison, the junior. And now we will see the Owl offense for the first time as the senior quarterback Dom Capetta leads his group out. Capetta, 6'1", a shade under 200 pounds. And again,
he looks more than that, Nick. He looks like 210, 212, 215 to me. He is a load, but he's probably got a body fat count about 6%, 5%, maybe or less.
Got some long limbs as well. Going to hand off on 1st and 10, and that's not going to go as planned.
Concord defense line ready for the challenge.
That's Noah Blake, the senior. 6'2", 205. He's got a big frame, and he shows you what he can do. Tackle for a 3-yard loss to set up a 2nd down and 13. Now nearly 3 minutes into this first quarter. Again, a good crowd tonight. Especially here, obviously, on the home side.
Well, it's a nice pair of defensive ends.
The Concord fans have come down from the Capitol as well. 2nd down and 13. Little shift. This is the freshman Baker. He's trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Tackled shy of the 35-yard line. Another gang tackle for Concord. Does get the 3 back to set up a 3rd down and 10.
Tempo of Timberlane and the energy of Timberlane seems a little bit slow right now to get going. They got to be careful with this high potent offense. Jim Corcoran and crew are more than happy to run up the score as they get it done, but they're going to have to get going here pretty quick. It just doesn't look like the normal fierce energy on the field that we've seen in the past. We'll see how it progresses.
Facing a 3rd and 10, already trailing 7-0. Capetta out of the gun. Going to go to the air for the first time. Cox back. He's got a man. It's Baker. Juggles the catch, but does pull it in before tumbling out of bounds.
Nice job.
Just shy of the 47-yard line. It's a 12-yard pickup and a 1st down for the home team.
I think you're going to see here, he thought he was closer to the out-of-bounds line than he realized, so it looked like he was trying to hold the ground here. Watch. See him, he's kind of holding the ground, and I'm out of bounds, and boom, 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 boom. And he does a great job of maintaining concentration, keeping his feet in. Nice job.
Baker, one of the leading receivers this season, the senior. Able to pull that in the nick of time to save the drive.
Oh, they needed that.
1st and 10 now at their own 47 against the 3-man front. Capetta on a designed quarterback run. Not going to get much, maybe 2. The linebacker, Doug Smith.
I think
right
he
there
slipped,
to wrap him
Nick.
up around the waist.
He may have slipped. Looked like the feet gave way there on the left side. His left foot gave way here. We'll get a quick look at it.
Ends up getting 2.
Oh, we're going to get a nice look at it. Oh, boy, I love slow motion. No, it was just
Smith
good field play by
held his ground.
Yep, by number 50.
All right, 2nd down and 8.
Douglas Smith, nice job.
Capetta. A quick word for his backfield mate, that's Dan Post, the sophomore. They go to Post here on a stretch. Post into Concord territory, going to slide out of bounds at about the Crimson 45-yard line.
Nice
That's
job.
good for an 8-yard pickup. Post, of course, that name should be familiar. Comes from a football family and the youngest brother. Able to make it now 3rd and manageable. 3rd and 2 coming up for the Owls.
Nice job by Mikhail Colin there. A nice block, number 54 from the Owls up front. He completely walled off the defensive end of Concord, which gave him the opportunity to get around the corner. Goes unheralded, but boy, I'll tell you, these linemen on both sides of these teams are good.
Capetta straight ahead.
He's got it.
3rd and 2. The big quarterback still squirming down there. Does get the 1st down. They're going to spot him at about the 42-yard line.
Well, he does a good job reading the gaps, Nick, before he runs that play. He does as good as anybody in the league as far as I'm concerned. He's got the frame to do it and the strength. But most importantly, he reads the defensive line techniques, and he finds the seam, whether it's on the left or the right, and he moves laterally and upfield very, very well with that tall, lanky frame.
Had a quick word there with Coach Fitzgerald. Coach now in his 15th season. On the hunt for a 2nd ring in a 2nd division in a 2nd straight year. Handoff for Post. Good cut. Spins. Hurdles.
Nice run.
Inside the 40 down to about the 35-yard line. Another chunk play there for Post. Able to pick up 7 on 1st down to set up 2nd down and 3.
What you're going to see there is you're going to see a guy protect the football on a spin move. A lot of guys lose the football. Watch him. He's got 2 hands on it, and see the spin with 2 hands? He's got it in complete control. Where's that ball? In the outsides of the field where it's supposed to be. That's just good technical running right there, and it minimizes turnovers. Nice job by Post. You can tell, Nick, as you said, family football treat there.
First carry for Ed DeGulio.
He's close.
Another weapon here for the Owls. Tackled at about the 32. They will give him the first down. Concord defensive lineman Nathan Feudner in on the stop. So Timberlane got a little bit of a drive going here, Steve. It looked like could have been 3 and out, facing a 3rd and 10 moments ago, but now starting to get some momentum and approaching the red zone here. Still trailing 7-0 after we meet the midway point first quarter.
Offensive line doing a good job, especially on the left side. Nice pull right there.
Here's Post up the middle. Post has got a seam, and he's gone. Touchdown, Timberlane. It's a 32-yard scamper for Daniel Post, the 5'9", 180-pound sophomore, has got the home team on the board.
Okay, watch the guard pull here. Number 54, I'm going to say Cologne. Watch number 54 come across here. Look at that. Oh, I wish maybe we can get the other view, but he did a phenomenal job opening up that hole. What a nice run. Followed his blocks extremely well. And boy, and he knows it.
Extra point try. Up and good. It's off the right foot of Jake Bellicci. And just like that, it's tied up 7-7. So punch, counter punch as expected.
Watch this, Nick. Watch this guy come through and watch him. He sees the FNLNH media camera as he comes through. These kids love it. He deserved every bit of it. Why not celebrate a little bit? Oh, man, I like that.
I have a feeling that may end up in one of the highlight reels coming up.
Director Ben Beals is going to store that one in a locked safe.
Some juicy footage. That, of course, is Matt Beals manning the camera in the back of the end zone tonight. Man. Down at that end, his counterpart, John Barron. In the other end zone, Kristen Beals upstairs, providing the overhead shots. Nick and Asta, Steve Beals with you here in Plastow. First round of the playoffs, an extra round of playoffs this year. They expanded the field in Division I from 8 teams to 13. 3 conference winners have the weekend off. That, of course, is defending champion Londonderry, undefeated Nashua North, and D1 East winner Exeter, who will face the winner of this game here tonight.
And that's going to bound to be a good one. Wow.
All right, now it's Concord's turn to answer the bell. Took a short field off the turnover to get on the board, just a 30-yard scoring drive, end up with a 21-yard touchdown run. This is a squib. Fielded at the 15-yard line, up to the 20, coming back middle, looking for room. Jackson Burkush stopped just shy of the 30.
Trey Baker in on the tackle, was it?
And Baker had that sideline catch. Can also show you what he can do on the special teams with a good stop there.
Watch how he keeps his hip square to the line. He knows he's got a good runner he's facing here. Watch him break down. Watch the breakdown. Right there. Breakdown, all the lower part of the body. Nice wrap. Good scissor. Nice pull down. Excellent job.
Pounced on him.
Yep.
Got him below the knee.
Yep. Almost looked like a cheetah in his approach.
Impressive.
Very impressive.
Concord.
Not easy
to
do.
They got a big set in here. They're going to pitch to Bahuma near side. Going to lower that shoulder and push the pile from the 30 up to about the 32.
Well, looking a little Pinkerton-esque, Nick, on the approach. Willing to give up a lot of resources to stop Bahuma because it worked as a good recipe last week out on the Astros field. Look at everybody breaking out again. Number 3.
It's Baker.
Baker right in on the tackle. Boy, he's impressive. You're
Cologne
right
in there as well, part of that 4-man front for Timberlane. Play action on second down. Doward rolling out, going to tuck, going to run, and he's near the marker. Pushed out of bounds.
Going to be a little short.
Where? At about the 38, needed to get, it looks like, to the 39. So a possible 3rd and 1 on the way with just outside of 4 minutes to go here.
Don't know as anybody does that rolls out to his strong side as well as Zach Doward does. He just tucked it and run. He's got him right by the sticks right now. Both these quarterbacks outstanding at rolling out.
The sophomore linebacker Austin Patnode pushed him out of bounds. 3rd and 1. Doward under center. Calls for the quarterback sneak. And I believe he crosses the 40 up to the 41. Plenty of room for the first down.
Yeah, nice job. Following that left guard, Nick. That number 1 seam right there. Does a nice job Zach Dowd, another one that's very good at calling cadence, very effective. Don't get a lot of false starts, not a lot of penalties. He's a quarterback that takes command of the team, and they like it that way.
Yeah.
You heard Jim Corkum speak of him last night on Gridiron. Really thinks a lot of him.
He's kind of the leader of the group for sure, and as a 3-year starter, knows that this could be the end. Not going to play next year, but plans to attend Central Florida. Bahuma in the flat.
What a move.
Pretty good juke. Gets up to the 49, a couple yards shy of the first down marker.
Yeah, that looked a little bit like Mr. White on the Patriots, the way he received that ball. Watch this. This may have been a backward pass. I'm not sure. It's very close if it wasn't. Yeah, it looks like a backward pass. Look at this. Watch this jab. Oh, so hard to tackle and bring down. He's a special player.
Somehow Jaden Wangi able to do it.
Yep.
2nd and 2, Bahuma. Good hole into Owl territory. Still on his feet, still fighting. At the 45, the officials blow it dead.
He adds so much, Nick, to an offense. He demands so much resources allocated to him. And then you got a guy like Zach Dowd, and then you've got, Austin Wells. They don't use Devon Duncan. I always forget Devon. I don't mean to do that, Devon.
We saw him already strike pay dirt tonight
right,
from 21 yards out to put Concord in front 7-0 just 2 minutes into the game. Owls respond with a lengthy drive. A Daniel Post 32-yard touchdown. The result, we're tied here at 7 now, under 3 minutes to go first quarter. Dowd surveys 1st and 10 from the Owl 45. Inside handoff, Bahuma.
Wow.
And again, more downhill running. Ends up inside the 40 at about the 39. Tackle out of the secondary there by the senior Braden Paris.
It's a great guy. It's a great guy to be an offensive lineman for, Nick, because you know that if you just get body position on that defensive line and create a seam there, Bahuma's going to get through it. And it's a system here that's worked for them. And this, when you see this, you just have to really respect Coach O'Reilly and his defensive crew's defensive scheme last week.
2nd and 4, Dowd to the air. It's incomplete. Trying to hook up with the receiver along the far sideline. That's the sophomore Brett Tuttle.
Got to make that catch, Nick.
Couldn't quite pull it in overhead.
Had a lot of juice on it, but you got to make that catch.
Now a 3rd and 4.
Yeah, that's the thing about, you run the ball down there, you miss one pass, and it just puts you in a situation where now although this could be 4-down territory right here. Very likely it is. See a lot more of that now.
3rd and 4. Concord going to fake outside,
He's
go
gone.
inside, and look out. It's the fullback to the races. Touchdown, Concord.
Wow.
Nathan Galbraith able to break loose. The sophomore strikes pay dirt from 38 yards out to put Concord back in front.
He was left with a one-on-one here because so many people are following Bahuma and allocating resources to him. Watch, everybody's moving, and then there's nobody on that little cutback. And boy, he carries a ball like a fullback. He runs like a fullback, and he chose the whole. Did a great job there. He'll keep that football for a while.
So Plant back on for the extra point try. Kick right down the middle, and good.
Boy, both offenses looking very solid here, Nick.
Yep, 3 possessions, 3 scoring drives.
Yep.
The 1 turnover, of course, came on the opening kickoff.
Yeah, and, we'll see where this game winds up. But turnovers, special teams situations have throughout the year played such a big part. Be very interesting to see if that could wind up being the difference in this game. But there's lots of time to go. And now you're in a situation where Capetta and crew have got to answer back. You're going to have to stay with this Concord Crimson team by trading touchdowns if you're going to have a shot in the end. These guys are loaded for bear. Both of these teams play on real grass. No discomfort here with either team. They're used to this. They like it.
Concord back in the playoffs for the first time in a long time. Been nearly a decade since their last championship. A 3-6 record last year. 6-3 this season in 2022. And as Coach Corkum told us last night, a lot of excitement around the team, around the school. Glad the Crimson are back in the playoffs. And then Timberlane, a lot of veterans who went through the fire and went through the wars, so to speak, a year ago in Division II, where they prevailed following a championship victory over Milford.
one thing Galbraith is a sophomore, Nick. So
right.
It's
a lot of sophomores who have been able to contribute.
Yeah, I agree.
To this Timberlane squad. And, of course,
well,
they've got a pretty much standout freshman as well, and Liam Corman. Oh, with Timberlane, yeah. I guess both teams, you're right, have good sophomores. Meanwhile, another near disaster for Timberlane. That's Corman, the youngster who bobbled the opening kickoff, collides with his own teammate, but is able to hang on and secure the football and secure the possession for Timberlane.
Yeah, he may have been calling for that ball, but if he doesn't move, you can't roll into him there. But his eyes could have been looking up at the ball in flight. I don't know, but almost another serious mishap, Nick.
That was his teammate Jaden Wangi.
Yep.
Who collided with him. All right, Capetta out of the gun, 1st and 10, near side, more room, and look out. This is the first carry of the night for Timberlane's Matt Williams, and it's a memorable one. Down the near sideline, all the way inside the 5-yard line.
Wow.
Took the handoff at his own 29 and ends up at the Concord 2-yard line.
He's all upset. Watch this acceleration. Number 54 seals it. Looked like 19, Julio. He's not just a runner. He's a blocker, too. And look at him as he runs down the field with the support of his teammates, Nick. That's a team run right there, and he made the most of it.
Good job by Peyton Enos-Yero to track him down.
Yes.
And save the touchdown for Concord on the tackle. But it's a 69-yard run for the speedster, Matt Williams, the sophomore. He's got Timberlane good to go here on 1st and goal from the 2. Post is the tail. They hand it to him. Going to lean forward and find the goal line. I believe.
I can't believe
the officials now say touchdown.
Yep. So we set a barn burner last night, Nick, and it's certainly shaping up to be that. These two offensive lines and offensive weapons and assets are absolutely tremendous on both of these teams. Look at that trench work. Look at the fight going on there in the middle. And they look at 54. This guy is unbelievable. He's impressed me against Exeter. He impressed me now. I'll tell you, this guy is a one-man gang. What a terrific job. Mikhail Cologne.
Meanwhile, they're going to blow the extra point try dead as a flag flies. It'll be the game's first penalty. It's a false start against Timberlane as we hear from referee John Jalaska for the first time.
The offensive battle going on here, Nick. I don't know if you saw that on the replay there. It was just fierce. This is everything we thought. Looks like both of these teams now are all ready to go.
Yeah.
And the defensive lines and linebacker core has not had an answer for either one of these offenses on either team.
Extra point try from Balicki. Blocked.
Special teams again.
Concord going to hold on to the lead. That's Doug Smith. Called his name a few times already tonight. One of the first on the scene there on the block for Concord. So still a 1-point lead on the board for the Crimson Tide here, 14-13 with 1:49 to go in the first quarter.
And I think it's fair to say pretty much special teams has participated pretty strongly in an 8-point difference in this game so far, Nick. Because starting off the game, turning it over and putting the opposition offense on your 27, 28-yard line is you might as well, and then you got Bahoma and crew there.
Well, both offenses have demonstrated that they can strike back.
No question.
Very quickly. Just 20 seconds off the clock there. Timberlane gets a 69-yard rip from Matt Williams and then a 2-yard finish from Daniel Post for Post. It's his second touchdown. And as you said, a lot of youngsters up and down this roster for Timberlane, including Post, who's a sophomore, and including Williams, who's also a sophomore. Both of those guys, the key pieces on that 2-play, 71-yard drive.
Yeah, you don't want your extra points blocked, though, Nick. That could get costly. Although this team is such a good running team with Capetta at the helm, 2 points is not hard to recover there, but
there's a
you
squib.
still want to get them.
Going to take a funky bounce, fielded below the knee by Bahoma. Cautiously approaches the 40, lowers the shoulder at about the 42, and ends up ruled down at the 43-yard line. So back to work for Bahuma in this offense. The junior, as we mentioned at the top, over 1,500 yards in the 9 regular season games, 22 touchdowns. And as we know, can get hot very quickly. So far tonight, 23 yards on 6 carries. So a shade below 4 a tick for Bahuma. He's got 2 fullbacks in front of him here on 1st and 10. One of them gets the carry. That's Enos Euro. He's going to follow the right guard across the 45 up to about the 46 before he's met and tackled by Timberlane Zambrowitz.
Nice stop there. That's what Timberlane wants is 2 or 3 yards on that first carry, Nick. Gives them an opportunity to dig their heels in, forces Concord to, 1 or 2 yard play is not going to be enough. Want to make them work for that first down or potentially stop it here. I doubt very much Coach Corcoran with this is 4 down territory at this point. I don't think. But you never know.
2nd down. They pitch. Bahuma. Again, able to plant that foot, get across the 45, but not much further. Stopped at about the 49-yard line. A good tackle in pursuit there by Moley. That's going to bring us inside the final minute here. Concord facing a 3rd and 4.
Yeah, this is a pivot play right here, Nick. This is an important one. You'll see on the replay here. Oh, already gone by. That's okay. Timberlane doing a pretty good job here, cutting them down to 6 yards in 2 plays. This is a big play right here.
As you mentioned, kind of devoting a lot of resources, eyeing Bahuma, as Pinkerton was able to do last week. Enos Euro gets the call. He's going to tiptoe into Owl territory. Tackled near the 1st down marker.
I couldn't tell the right tackle there.
They're going to move the sticks here. Yeah,
oh,
he gets 5 yards when he needed 4, so a 1st down for Concord.
Watch the right tackle here of Concord. It was either the right guard or right tackle. Did a great job of coming around and sealing off that wall. They had Bahuma going to the left-hand side, looking like he was going to get the ball off tackle, and they ran. Yep.
It's going to do it for the first quarter. The offense cooking for both teams. 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns. 14-13 Concord after 1. Second quarter on the way. You are watching preliminary round coverage. The 2022 NHIAA Division I football tournament here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. It's presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Now the second quarter begins with an inside give to the fullback Galbraith. And the Concord sophomore is stopped just shy of the Owl 41-yard line. Second quarter underway here in Plastow. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week. It's presented by Beals Insurance. First round playoff football here in Division I. The winner goes on to face Exeter in the quarterfinal round next weekend. Both offenses showing you what they could do early on. Grand total of 4 possessions, 2 for each team, 4 total touchdowns. The difference right now, a blocked extra point. Following the latest touchdown from Timberlane. So Concord holds a 1-point edge 12 minutes in.
Watch this replay. Watch it, Caleb, I believe it's Mealy. Watch this replay. Watch this scissor tackle here in the end. This is not easy, folks. Watch him as he comes through. What a great tackle there by number 55.
Yeah, that's Moley, who's
already
got at least 3 tackles to his credit unofficially. Inside give, Bahoma. Down inside the 30 on the 1st and 10 carry.
Second down for Concord.
Boy, this guy.
Wrapped up from behind by Nick Langlois, the junior. Minute gone by now, second quarter, and Bahoma again approaching the 30-yard mark here after a 6-yard pickup.
Yeah, this young man knows how to find a seam, Nick. He follows his blockers as good as it gets. Whoever's coordinating all of the inner components of this offense and teaching these backs to play in sync with his linemen is just tremendous.
I got him for 8 for 32 yards on 8 carries. Bahuma inside. No, it's a play fake. Doward going downfield, and a flag is going to fly. You're going to get interference here, it looks like, in the end zone as there was some contact. The Concord receiver, Brett Tuttle, able to draw the flag, and it looks like pass interference is coming here against Timberlane.
This is a tough call. Yeah, he's got to turn around in that play. Official did the right thing. He's got to turn around and look back.
That was the defensive back, DeGulio.
Yeah, he turned back into the receiver and said, I'm going to make sure he doesn't catch the ball. Well, that's the price you're going to pay.
Saw just one flag in that first quarter. It was a procedure penalty on the extra point. We get our first penalty since. And it's a costly one for Timberlane. 15 yards. The ball advanced to the 15-yard line and will be spotted on the grass here on the near hash. 2 minutes in, second quarter. Concord hoping to add to their lead out in front, 14-13. Doward ready to go. 1st and 10 from the Timberlane 15-yard line. And again, the Owls are really going to pack that box tight. Safety's really playing up.
Yeah, it looked like he was telling the outside linebacker to get a little further out, Nick, so he could roll and contain if he needs to. I'm not sure about that, but that looked like the defensive coordinator at Timberlane was telling him to slide out a little bit. This little cat and mouse going on here right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the trainer.
Yeah, I think so.
Or a trainer.
Or maybe mom, I don't know. No, just kidding. That's the trainer, Nick.
Out there talking now with Coach Corkum on the field.
There's some sort of communication between her and one of the officials. I don't know if it's an equipment issue possibly or what it is.
Well, they're trying to sort it out. Again, this game got off to an unusual start. Short kick, muffed by Timberlane, recovered by Concord. A couple of plays later, the Owls are trailing 7-0. Concord able to strike from 21 yards out on a Devon Duncan run to put the visitors in front 7-0. Timberlane put together a lengthy drive in response. About midway through that first quarter, they get a 32-yard touchdown run from sophomore Daniel Post. Concord regrabs the lead on a 38-yard scamper from sophomore Nathan Galbraith. 14-7 Crimson at that point. Timberlane thought they had the answer just 2 plays later. A 2-yard touchdown from Daniel Post, his second of the game, brought Timberlane within 1, but the extra point was blocked. Meanwhile, out of the timeout,
going to get a hold here.
A late flag is thrown by the official, John Jalaska.
Actually, this could be a block in the back or a hold or a kind of a half and half combination here. Watch as he's approaching him. You see he buck. Yeah. It looks like a block in the back. Let's see what it is, what they call.
It may have been Noah Blake.
Yeah, I think it was.
So they're going to back Concord up.
I don't know if that was. I don't know if that was.
It's a hold officially, so officials saw something along that offensive line.
I think it was DeGiulio on the other end was turned, kind of like trying to contain on the outside. He turned and then he got pushed from the back. I believe it was him.
It's a spot foul, so it's 1st and 19.
So that gives a little breathing room for
Timberlane.
For Timberlane to defend here.
First down markers all the way down at the 7. All right, Doward's going to keep Galbraith with him in the backfield. They're going to stack 3 receivers to the short left. Put Bahuma in motion, hand to him on a sweep right, going to cut down inside the 20, and another flag. Tackled by the Owl linebacker, Liam Kelly, the senior, but again, a flag flies late.
Let's see what we can see here.
Got a penalty coming on the third consecutive play here.
Nick in between the quarters was saying, hey, it's pretty clean. Only got one flag, and it's...
I may have jinxed us.
Yeah. I didn't see anything. Look, another block in the back, it looks like. That is really going to back him up, Nick.
Well, it's got to be irritating for both head coaches.
Yeah.
As well. In this case, obviously Concord, but we saw the pass interference against Timberlane. Both teams hoping to limit the mistakes tonight, and now back-to-back quote-unquote mistakes here from Concord.
I thought the defensive back from Timberlane had pretty good position there to defend. He really needed to turn around.
Right. Yeah, the officials have put some emphasis on that.
Yep.
3 minutes in, we got a pass from Doward. In trouble and sacked by his counterpart, Dom Capetta. Capetta, one of several Eagles, or Owls, to end up on top of Doward in the backfield. The sack is going to cost Concord as Doward is taken down at the 39-yard line. So a second down and 32 now facing the Crimson Tide.
Nick, it's call out Mikhail Colon again along with Capetta. This guy on both sides of the football having a huge impact in this game for the Owls.
You know, we've said his name several times.
He's just at the point of attack and so many on both sides of the ball.
Second and 32. Inside give, Galbraith to the 35 and no further. Dropped by Moley. Another tackle for number 55 in maroon.
Moley and another guy who's just doing a great job. The vision that these linebackers have in all of that traffic, and to be able to bring a guy down like that is really good. It looks to me like
The 3rd and 29 for Concord.
it looks to me, Nick, like they're starting to. They got Bahuma out in the wing, which you don't see every day, but
he's over here on the near side. He's going to run a pass route. Doward flushed out to his left. Throws on the move, and a great catch. That's Enos Euro, able to spin, pull it in, and then get down near the original line of scrimmage at about the 15-yard line.
He goes out to his weak side, and he throws it like he's on his strong side. Does that remind you of a Nashua North with Finley the other week? Both of these guys, I think, go to their weak side. Look at that form. Look at that throw. Right where it needs to be. Zach Doward needs to play football, I'll tell you. I'll buy a ticket, Zach. He does so many things well.
Looking to study business at the next level down south.
Good for
Meanwhile,
him.
field goal attempt here. It's going to be a 31-yarder. It's up. Plant is hit after it's good. It draws a flag.
No good.
And they say no good.
We'll see what the flag is. This could be a big play here.
I think, again, it was roughing the kicker.
Really?
Because Plant got hit and he's limping.
Let's take a look at it.
As a result, trying to shake it off on his way to that far sideline. But, yeah, he was hit.
I took my eyes off of that. I was looking to see if it had the distance. Let's see here. Probably going to get a pretty fair shot.
The kick comes on a 4th and 8, so
we'll see if it stays in the frame, Nick.
You see the kick and then a little bit of a bump.
Yep, into the lower legs. They're going to call that every time.
And again, that was the referee himself, John Jalasco, who threw it. Got a great look at it.
So it's hard to imagine that.
Well, if this is roughing, then it's going to be a first down.
Automatic first down. It depends on what it is. They're only going to give him the 5, Nick. So they're not going to give him the personal foul.
Right, that's running into the kicker.
Yep.
We say more accidental than intentional.
Here we go.
They're going to place the football at the 10-yard line, which sets up about a 4th and 3.
Right, but I mean,
they're going to kick it again, though.
Hard to believe when you're back almost on your 50-yard line that you got a good shot at a field goal.
Right. They were facing a first down and 32 just moments ago. Now a 4th and 3. It's a low snap. Enos Euro going to have to scramble, and he's taken down by Capetta and Baker. The field goal attempt is spoiled by the Owls special teams. Timberlane keeps it a 1-point game as we approach the midway point of this second quarter.
So Timberlane comes back with a special teams play of their own that's impactful in the game. Now they're down 2-1, Nick. Maybe they can even that score again, and that can have a huge impact. So Timberlane, if you look at what's going on here, they seem to be, at least in the very early stages of controlling a little bit of the momentum defensively that no team really could control either one defensively. So
Owls look for a response here on an inside give. The 1st and 10 run attempt. Not going to get much. Blown dead at about the 21-yard line. Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. Concord got a pretty good defensive front, as we know. Austin Wells.
Yes.
Talked about a lot along that defensive line. Of course, he's a great tight end offensively as well. But big number 88 down there has drawn a lot of attention from the Owls and has helped to contain this run so far for Concord. Again, just 3 down linemen for the Crimson. Little crisscross. They go to post, and he's yanked down from behind. Tackled around the shoulders by Doug Smith, who continues to make plays defensively for Concord.
Yeah, he has great vision. He has excellent lateral speed. Watch him when he reads the play. First he reads and then reacts. It's the reaction time that this young man can get to. That's just a great tackle right there. He's dialed in. He knows he wants to continue playing football, and he's playing like it.
He looked good last week.
Yes, he did.
In the loss against Pinkerton.
I agree, Nick.
And he's already put his stamp on this one with the block extra point. Right now, that's the difference.
He just slides and scrapes off bodies. Look at him. He's very good at it.
Capetta going deep. Near side. Looking from Wangi.
That could have been offensive interference. I think Coach is really upset on the sidelines. With the Owls, Coach Fitzgerald was looking for an offensive.
Well, looking for something. No flag on the play.
There's a lot of contact.
Was the intended receiver. Enos Giro in defensively. A little bit of a bump there as the ball came down, but the officials let it go. No flag. So a 4th down and 6 now facing Timberlane. The Concord defense forcing what looks like is going to be a 3 and out.
Yeah, I think Concord got a little break there, Nick. That looked to me like quite a bit of contact, but the referee was right there.
Mwangi from the 10, his first punt of the night, comes down near midfield. Concord gets away from it. The Owls will down it at the Timberlane 48-yard line. So good starting field position for Concord. Crimson have never trailed tonight. They've got a 1-point lead just outside of 5 minutes to go now until halftime. Coming up at halftime, a look around the state. Playoff weekend. First round coverage. Got 2 other games in Division I to keep an eye on. Portsmouth at Merrimack in the 8-9 matchup. And, of course, Pinkerton hosting Spalding in the 4-13 fix. So we'll get scores there coming up at halftime.
Ben sneaking in scores at you you're not telling me about? Or?
We'll get to them. Got to keep you waiting as we usually do. Meanwhile, this is Galbraith. Going to run somebody over down there at the 40. Good tackle, though, in the end for Gary Schivel, one of these veterans. Really a sophomore, but a veteran. Played well last year in that tournament stretch run for Timberlane. Makes a good tackle here, but boy, oh boy, you pay the price when you try to bring down big number 34.
This young man knows who he is and how he's supposed to run. He protects the football with 2 hands, does a great job.
Enos Giro looking for room on the outside on 1st and 10, down to the Owl 30. Again, Schivel in the area on the takedown. Paris as well for the Owls, but not before a pickup of 8 yards. Enos Giro running well here. Bahuma Steve, 8 carries, 32 yards unofficially. Enos Giro has picked up a lot of the slack here, especially in the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
2nd down and 2.
Trying to balance it out here.
Bahuma's the tail. They go back to him, trying to bounce it left side. He's got the 1st down. Still on his feet, and a step out of bounds inside the 25. At about the 24-yard line, a gain of 6.
Looks like Mikhail Cologne got up really slow there, Nick. I don't know if his legs got sideswiped or not, but watch number 54 right in front of your screen there. Yeah, he went down kind of crooked. Fortunately, he got up, and look at Bahuma grab that yardage with Roger Brown watching every second of it.
It's our friend from the New Hampshire Football Report and the New Hampshire Union Leader down on the field. Go back to the ground. Not much on the inside give as Timberlane is up for the challenge. That's Enos Yerno again on the carry. They mark him at the 21. After a gain of just 3 to set up 2nd down and 7, we move inside of 4 minutes to go in this second quarter.
So Concord with a defensive stop, got the possession back, and now they're going down in towards the red zone, Nick, almost there.
Could not convert.
Yep.
Their last time in the red zone on a 31-yard field goal attempt. The bad snap. 2nd and 7. Enes Diurno in motion. They hand back to Bahuma. Goes behind the left guard. Capetta
It's going to be
able to
close.
bring him down below the knee, inside the 20 at about the 18-yard line. Just another dive play for the junior on his 10th carry of this first half.
Yeah, he just turns upfield so well. There's nothing there, and then all of a sudden he leans for 2 or 3 yards minimum every single time, then drags him for another 2. Very gifted runner.
Got him for 42 on the ground, 8 more in the air.
He got nothing
Not
there.
much there, you're right. Yanked down by the Timberlane senior, McCallie Cologne, who again checks in here in this first half.
This is a tough call for Coach Corcoran. This is within his legs range, Nick. It's going to be interesting whether they try to go for it. It's 4th and 3, a long 3. It's almost 3.5.
Well, they got
Bahuma, though. So
They got Bahuma. They've also got Plant on the sideline right now, the kicker. Not going to get the green light here.
Well, he may.
Clock's going to tick down. Coach Corcoran used the timeout back in the first quarter. He's got 2 in his back pocket, and he may be saving the second for right now because they're not in any hurry to break this huddle.
No. Well, you don't want to give them, if they do score, he doesn't want to leave any time on the clock for the Owls, Nick. But this could be just an attempt to get them to jump off sides. Watch that. Zach Dowd does a great job with cadence. I think Pafford's probably as good as anybody, and San Suazo really impressed me as well with that, Nick, as well as others. We've seen it kind of across the league. That's really been a skill that you see kind of broadening out with more teams.
Teams have put more emphasis on it, for sure, as both head coaches confirmed with us last night on FNL Gridiron, which, of course, can be heard every Thursday night live at 6 Eastern on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. Again, our channel on YouTube is FNLNH. On YouTube at FNLNH Media. Hit the subscribe button while you're there. And tune in this week as we get a quarterfinal preview with exclusive interviews, coaches, players, media members, the whole 9 yards. Every Thursday at 6, and any time thereafter with the archives on our YouTube channel, FNLNH Media. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. Preliminary round coverage. We're right back at it tomorrow. Bedford and Wyndham. That should be a fun game that kicks off at 2 o'clock. Our coverage at 1:45.
And, of course, if you like what we're doing tonight, you're enjoying the game, we do 2 games every single week, sometimes 3, occasionally 1 if there isn't a Saturday game. But by all means,
be busy this month.
Subscribe.
Sure.
Become a subscriber.
Yeah.
We'd love to have subscribers. They're growing every week.
Do yourself a favor. Stay in tune.
Yeah, hit the bell icon. We'll notify you
whenever we're live.
Whenever we're live on. Exactly, Nick.
2 minutes remaining. Second quarter. Doward. Enes Diurno. Nowhere to go.
Great vision.
An angry-looking tackle there for Nick Langlois, the junior.
I agree.
Spearheaded the assault there defensively for Timberlane. The 4th and 3 goes nowhere out of the timeout.
Yeah, Zach showed.
And this Owl defense, Steve, for the second time gets a red zone stop.
That's a good stand-up tackle. Keep driving the legs. That's how you avoid them getting yardage, and he got a little support at the end. But it looked to me like Zach showed the football there, Nick, a little too much on the left-hand side, and that's where they were able to pick up that the fake handoff was, in fact, a fake handoff.
Let's see how aggressive Timberlane is here. Capetta on 1st and 10, will throw. Near side, incomplete. Trying to find Williams along the near sideline, overthrew the sophomore.
In that situation, he's got to keep running his route, Nick. You got to trust the quarterback. If there's one arm you can trust for range, it's Capetta. Yeah, he lifted it, but you got to keep running your route full speed and believe that it's his, and know that it's his job, meaning the quarterback, to get it to you.
And Williams, very dangerous speed-wise. We saw that earlier.
You connect with him with some open space, he's going to make you hurt.
Ripped off a 69-yard run that set up a short touchdown for his classmate Dan Post from 2 yards out a moment later. The offense has been quiet since then. That was the Final possession of the first quarter. Here's Post, going to zig, going to zag, and he's got a first down.
He knows exactly where the first down marker was, Nick, and where he had to get to.
It's a 15-yard pickup for Post, who has scored both Timberlane touchdowns in this first half.
The tempo of these plays is
big hole there.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah. Owls trying to get some momentum. They sling it to Baker,
Another
far
first down.
side, and the senior is tackled inbounds. Where? Just beyond the first down marker. They do give him enough to move the sticks.
It says the Owls have all 3 timeouts. I don't recall them calling one, Nick, but the tempo is flying here.
Yeah, clock ticking as well, down to a minute 20. Post left side, met and stopped.
Not the play you want there.
That's Doward.
Going to have to burn one.
Doward with some words afterwards.
Yeah, Zach's a competitor.
Yeah. Showing you what he can do defensively. Good one-on-one stop there.
They have their
Speaking
own...
of stops, Timberlane is going to stop the clock here with a
Yep.
minute 19 using their first timeout.
Yep. Zach Doward and Capetta are their own individual brand, Nick, but they do have some intersection of talents that are synonymous with one another. But they do it within their own frame, within their own organizational structure, and with their own style. But both of them are just high-level quarterbacks at all phases of the game. They pass well, they roll out well, they run well. Capetta runs fierce. I mean, he'll bowl you over. Zach will know exactly where the yardage he's got to get when he both fake the ball extremely well. And you can see both of them have outstanding relationships with their leaders and their head coaches and offensive coordinators.
Unfortunately, one of those two careers is going to end tonight.
Yep.
Survive and advance means only one winner, and that winner will face Exeter at Bill Ball Stadium next weekend in the quarterfinals. All right, Timberlane out of the timeout. Stack a couple of receivers near side. That's Mwangi and Williams. 2 backs joining Capetta in the backfield. Shotgun snap, handoff. This is DeGulio, just his second carry. He's across midfield. And the senior able to churn out a couple of extra yards after contact to set up Timberlane at the Concord 47-yard line. Quick snap here, final minute. Capetta to his right. Throws downfield, got a man, it's Williams in the middle. Williams going to zig to the right side, plant the foot, and be met and stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. I think you'll see he'll call a
timeout here. Yep, he did.
It's a second timeout called by Coach Fitzgerald. Leaves 50 seconds remaining on the clock.
Just watch that rollout work that both of these quarterbacks we were just talking about before. It's just so important.
Seen quite a few rollouts in this first half.
Yep. That's one of my favorite parts of the game, Nick, is a quarterback, a running quarterback that can roll out. You know, you watch the Baltimore
Lamar
Jackson roll out. It's just lethal. How do you defend that? So difficult.
Well, both these quarterbacks have, again, had quite the story. Capetta injured at the tail end of the regular season last year, his junior season. Timberlane in Division II. They go on to win the championship with him injured on the sideline, comes back, and has played fantastic football in his senior season against D1 competition. Very close with Coach Fitzgerald. And on the other side, same thing, that relationship between Zach Doward, the senior, and his head coach, Jim Corkum.
Down to 1 timeout, I would expect not this. I'm really surprised.
Capetta on the keeper, still fighting for yards inside the 30, down at about the 27-yard line. So it's a called run on first down. They've got 1 timeout. Clock is ticking.
I expected
35 seconds now and counting.
I expected some passes out on the
Take
outside.
a quick snap
perimeter.
Here. Capetta to the far side. Looks for the sideline. That catch is made.
Nope.
By Baker.
Yeah, they lost it.
Concord saying incomplete. May have flown out there at the last minute. Now they do say catch.
Wow.
Yeah, it looked like it popped out, I thought, after he was tackled on the ground.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of complaints from the Concord sideline, Nick, so that's probably
that's a good call.
Probably a good call.
It's not a first down, though. Second, oh, no, it is. Now they move the sticks.
Yep, you're right. He had it. He was down on his back, had possession.
28 seconds remaining. They're going to freeze the clock for a moment. Now restart it. Snap taken, handoff post, left side, spins his way inside the 15. Wrestled down by Doward. Timberlane trying to scramble
Lot
here.
of time
Clock
burning.
ticking. Down to 12. Down to 10 seconds. Capetta ready. Takes a snap. Throws left side. Got a man. It's Mwangi. Steps out of bounds inside the 10 at about the 7-yard line with 6 seconds remaining.
Ooh, I'll tell you, do you take a shot to the end zone and then call a timeout? Or if it's not I don't know what you do here. This is a tough one. Another 2 or 3 seconds, Nick. If they had 8 or 9, you'd probably see them take a shot. I think they're going to probably bring in the kicking crew now.
Yeah, they are. They want the lead at halftime. Remember, Concord will receive the kick to begin the third quarter.
So
here comes the kicker. His name is Harrison Bloom. He's a junior, right-footed kicker. This one from about 24 yards out. Concord already blocked an extra point try tonight. We're going to get a whistle here. And
going to make them think a little bit.
Yeah, Concord's going to use their final timeout here. Again, with just over 6 seconds remaining in this first half.
Yeah, I mean, that was a nice methodical drive down the field, Nick, by Coach. Thought they might do 2 things there, 2 running plays where they burnt a lot of time off the clock.
The quarterback draw.
The quarterback draw, and then there was a run off to the left side here, a little not off tackle, but probably between the guard and the tackle that took probably about 30, 35 seconds off the clock. If they had 9, 10 seconds, Nick, I bet you'd see Coach Fitzgerald go for the end zone on one and then call a timeout if for some reason it was in the field of play.
Still not bad. This drive began back inside their own 20 with less than 2 minutes. They used 2 timeouts, and here they are looking like they're going to take a shot, Steve.
Yep.
With 6.5 seconds, the Concord timeout may have changed Timberlane's mind. Coach Fitzgerald wants a touchdown. They throw to Mwangi near side. He's fighting for that end zone, but he's going to be yanked out of bounds well shy. Stopped at about the 2-yard line. They take less than 4 seconds off the clock.
Well,
2.6 remaining. And now the field goal unit, I think, is going to come out for the kick.
That's the play that you can do, Nick, for under 6 seconds and get time. That was a very smart, intelligent play.
Well executed, but a good tackle.
I think Coach Fitzgerald's going to take his last time out, and they want to think about what to do here. They're on the 2-yard line. He may try to get in the end zone. He's not afraid to go. He's obviously shown, Nick, all the games that we've done of Timberlane we've seen. He is not afraid to go for the jugular in these situations. I don't think either call's a bad call from the 2 when you've got Capetta at the helm. You may want to roll him out and try to pound him inside, but, with a 14-13 game, you want to go into halftime with something positive. You may want to just kick it at this point.
That's kind of where I was going. I would personally, I don't think he's going to try the field goal.
The longer this little conversation goes on here, little huddle goes on here, the more likely it's going to be they're going to go for it.
Yeah, kicker on the sideline.
Yep.
Capetta and the offense are going to come out. So
I don't think it's either
one. Coach Fitzgerald,
you're a running football team.
The 6. He's got Post as his tailback here in the eye. Capetta takes the snap. Post is going to pound it in for a touchdown. His 3rd of this first half. Home fans love it. Concord takes the lead. No, Timberlane has the halftime advantage now. 19-14, extra point try on the way.
Well, like I said, I don't think either call is the wrong call. What you got to do is what you feel comfortable with, what your heart tells you to do, and what you've been practicing. And this is a running football team. And how about that surge that they got? Look at them. You could tell by the white jerseys bouncing back. The great blocking up front, and he pounded it in the end zone here.
Noah Blake brought him down, but too late. Extra point try by Bloom is up and good. It sneaks inside the upright, and that will do it.
Surprised he didn't go for 2
for
there.
The first half, 20-14, a gutsy call by the ship captain.
Yep.
Head coach Kevin Fitzgerald. Timberlane has a 20-14 halftime lead. They score a touchdown on the final play of the first half.
Well, I got to tell you, you can tell by the coaches pounding down the stairs here from up there, up above with Timberlane. They are an excited group. Remember, this game started with, there's 8 points you could argue are related to special teams. And Timberlane, had a win on special teams. That was done by creating, I believe, a block kick, if I'm not mistaken. And But that was a very gutsy call. And when you're the home team and you go in at halftime like that, Nick, with accomplishing a drive like that, the Owls have got to be feeling good right now. And, of course, the crowd just was extremely loud cheering them off the field.
They go over 80 yards in less than 2 minutes. Use all 3 timeouts and then, again, go for it. With less than 3 seconds to go, they score a 4-yard touchdown. Daniel Post, the sophomore, putting together quite the first half for the Owls, 3 touchdowns.
And, as you said earlier, all promulgated by a timeout called by Coach Corcoran, because he didn't care for the defensive set that he had in the field. So he has to call that timeout. He brings him off field. That gives Coach Fitzgerald just doesn't sit there and wait. He begins the cerebral journey of thinking, well, what are the ifs and possibilities to go after it? I thought that more so than the touchdown call, I thought with 6.4 seconds left, Nick, I thought the call with that little out pattern to get him down on the 2-yard line was a very heady call. I think that's the call that I remember. Once you get down the 2-yard line, it's easy. You know what you're going to do. You're going to try to pound it through that eye. But that call of getting an extra play inside 6.4 seconds was terrific.
20-14, Timberlane. All right, when we come back, first half stats, highlights, and analysis, plus a look at the playoff scoreboard from around the state here. First round action here in the Granite State. Mm-hmm. Great to have some good weather here in November.
I don't know.
An extra round of football this season. The band, which is scheduled to perform a little bit of an extended set here at halftime, will bring you coverage of that as well.
You're either holding some cards inside there, Nick, or something, because the way you're acting, it tells me there's no real surprises going on across the league. And if there is, I wouldn't want to play poker against you, I'll tell you that, because it just seems like everything's steady as she goes. The expected teams are in the lead, so on and so forth. So let's see if I'm wrong, if I read you right or wrong.
As we know with the playoffs, you're supposed
come
to
back and find out
the unexpected. And we will come back and find out in just a moment. Timberlane, after trailing that entire first half, have their first lead at the break, 20-14 over Concord. Halftime here in Plastow. Back with more in a moment. You are watching our first round coverage of 2022 NHIAA Football Division I playoffs right here on Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. It's presented by Beals Insurance. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And do you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad, good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
I'm Travis Kelsey, and this is Zen Water. The perfect alkaline water for sports hydration and the only water that's in a bottle that prevents ocean pollution. Ultra pure alkaline water in a bottle that prevents ocean pollution. Why would you drink anything else? Seriously, why would you drink anything else?
The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. You gotta keep that shit in perspective. Absolutely. I mean, Central was always our big rival, but we knew all those kids from AU and football. Did you play any turkey balls? Remember the fight? Yeah.
We're going back live. What's up? All right, we're back here at halftime with, let's see, Timberlane out in front 20-14. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. First round action. Winner takes on Exeter in the quarterfinals in Exeter next weekend. Well, this one got off to a good start for Concord. Not a great start for Timberlane. Opening kickoff muffed, recovered by the Crimson just 2 seconds into the quarter. And they take a short field to their advantage. A few plays later, it's a 21-yard touchdown run from Devon Duncan. Puts Concord in front 7-0. Timberlane responded. Multi-play drive. They go down the field. Cap it off with Daniel Post's 32-yard touchdown run. First of 3 first-half touchdowns for the sophomore Post. 7-7, just outside of 5 minutes to go at that point in the first quarter. Concord's second possession ends up the same way. A 38-yard touchdown by their sophomore fullback, Nathan Galbraith, made it 14-7. Then 2 plays later, Timberlane finds pay dirt. 69-yard rip from Matt Williams, the sophomore, sets up a short 2-yard run for his teammate and classmate Daniel Post. Post's second touchdown, extra point blocked. Concord held the lead at that point, 14-13, and that was our score at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter, Concord kind of dominated but did not score a point as they had 2 drives stall in the red zone, back-to-back penalties, a failed
Their own doing.
field goal
from
31 yards out, and then on a 4th and 3 inside of 2 minutes before halftime, Timberlane defense stops them. And then the Owls go 80 yards in 2 minutes. They use all 3 timeouts. And a gutsy call there on the final play of the half, just outside of 2 seconds remaining. Post, short touchdown run, 20-14. Timberlane converts the extra point, and after trailing the entire first half, they've got a 6-point edge at halftime. Concord, however, is set to receive the second half kickoff.
Yeah, Bahuma, I think you said held to 47 yards. Is that right?
I've got unofficially 11 carries, 42 yards.
42 yards.
Plus
so
an 8-yard catch.
I would say if you told Coach Fitzgerald that he was going to hold Bahuma to 42 yards in the first half, Nick, I think he'd be very pleased. So if you take away that special team situation that happened, which put him on like the 27, 28-yard line, this differential in this game could potentially be even more. But
from that camera angle, Steve, you could really see the crown on the field outline there.
Absolutely.
And that plays into your point about
always
how this can be a tricky field to navigate for the opponent. But not to cut you off.
No. I do think that it was a gutsy 2 plays. I think that the last 2 plays of the game were both gutsy. I think they were structured and all promulgated, as we talked earlier, about by the timeout called, necessary timeout by Jim Corcoran to get the defense that he wanted on the field, get everything in play. But that cat and mouse is the good coaching that we've seen across the board here in Division I with these head coaches. They utilize every opportunity they possibly can or are given to them from the opposition.
Right.
I think Coach Fitzgerald immediately started to think about, okay, now I got some time to think. I'm not rushed. Let's think this one over, and put together a nice drive with Capetta and company, and went in for a score and gave them a 6-point lead. But this game is far from over because Concord is right there playing extremely well, and they've got some assets of their own coming out in the second half. They're going to get the ball. 2
other Division I tournament games going on tonight. Pinkerton, big lead over Spalding at halftime, 28-7. Astros looking to put the Red Raiders to bed early and advance to the quarterfinals. By the way, winner of Pinkerton Spalding takes on winner of BG Dover, which takes place in Nashua tomorrow. And the other game in action tonight in Division I, low-scoring affair late in the third quarter already.
Really? It started at 6, right?
6:30. Merrimack, a 7-6 lead over Portsmouth.
Wow.
With just outside of 2 minutes to go.
I'm not surprised
in the third
by that.
quarter.
I'm not surprised by that at all. I think these are 2 football teams that Coach Pafford has taken this team from the beginning of the year. As you know, I've always been high on Portsmouth. We talked about that preseason.
Right.
I thought Portsmouth was going to be a pretty fierce competitor out there, and they are proving to be just that over the last 2 or 3 weeks. But really the underground of that's been going on for a while. Portsmouth has been upsetting and causing teams fits. And some of the better brass of the league, they've played hard.
Yeah. Including a win last week, of course, over Timberlane.
Yes.
14-7. That loss cost the Owls the regular season conference championship.
And
cost them a bye week.
Cost them a bye week, and then cost them a quarterfinal home
field
game
next week.
And arguably probably has potential. They could have potentially had a semifinal, but unlikely. But
well, either way,
how about Merrimack? How
Right.
about Merrimack and Coach Kip Jackson and what he's done?
6-3 during the regular season.
That's the end of the third quarter, right?
2 minutes remaining, third quarter. 7-6 Merrimack over Portsmouth.
Wow. And we'll keep you. Wyndham will be in Wyndham for the Wyndham-Bedford game. And,
Correct.
of course, BG and Dover will be playing each other as well at
both,
Stello.
Both those games tomorrow at 2. Our broadcast of Bedford at Wyndham begins at 1:45. All right, Concord will receive. The game's only turnover tonight came on the opening kickoff, in which the roles were reversed. Concord was kicking off to Timberlane, and the young freshman Liam Corman mishandled.
And let's not forget the good job the officials have done this first half. Nothing anybody could really argue with, and nobody really has. Good job on.
Saw a little bit of a rash of penalties there.
Yeah.
About midway through the second quarter, early second quarter, but outside of that,
you got to clean it up.
Yeah,
Outside
of that, though, it's been clean. Just one penalty in the entire first quarter, and nothing over the final 5 or 6 before halftime. Here's a kick from Capetta, fielded on the hop. This is Isaiah Turner, the senior, who's going to get planted at about the 30-yard line, met and stopped by Braden Paris, who has played well so far tonight for Timberlane.
Jeremy, is it Mika check? Check number 9, Nick. Watch this on replay. Watch him, the contained route that he takes that just kind of slows down the runner. There's no place to go. I believe it's number 9 coming in from the side. There's number 8, and there's number 9 right there grabbing onto the jersey. What a terrific job.
Yeah, both players in there.
He did. Yep, both of them.
Wojcik, who is just a sophomore again, one of these Owls underclassmen contributing. All right, here's Doward from his own 30 on a 1st and 10. It's Bahuma. He's got some room. Going to cut it back middle. Hit at the 35.
Wow.
It's still rumbling downhill up to about the 40-yard line. That's very close to a first down. Bahuma held to under 4 yards a carry in that first half unofficially. Rips off nearly 10 here on his opening carry of the third quarter.
I like to call him a bull, but it doesn't serve Bahuma justice, Nick. He's more than just a bull, but a bull he is, but he's so much more. His his cuts up field, his athleticism with that kind of power is just makes him so good.
Broke 2 tackles before Austin Padnode finally finished him off. Enos Yerno going to break a tackle of his own in the backfield. Lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Stopped at about the 40-yard line. Tackled in pursuit there by Malachi
51.
Colon. And
Camden
to your
Zambrowski.
point, Zambrowski, who has piled up a few tackles in his own right tonight. No gain there for Enos Yerno, 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, that's good defensive work there. It's going to be interesting to see how much they rely on Bahuma, and if Timberlane and the Owls are able to contain them for how long before they start taking some chances in some other areas.
Give to the fullback, Galbraith.
He is a
Again,
strong guy.
rumbling and bumbling down to about, or down at about the 45-yard line. Give him 5 there.
Yeah.
And now a 3rd down and 5 on the way.
Yep. So there is more balance this week than we saw last week against Pinkerton. I think Coach Corcoran is, attempting to force the Timberlane Owls to be more balanced in their approach and not just focus on Bahuma. But in order for that to work, he's going to have Bahuma be able to break something here.
Crowd trying to lift up the defense. 4-man front for Timberlane. 3rd and 5. Pitch Bahuma. Not much. Lowers the shoulder. Well
2
short of
yards.
the 1st down. Yeah, only got 3 there. 4th down and 2 from the Concord 48-yard line. Coach Corcoran not going to mess around as the punt unit comes onto the field.
Looks like they may try to
Maybe get a quick snap
get
here.
a quick snap, but
They end up getting a pretty good spot, actually, Steve. A gain of 4.
The officials kind of timed it a little bit.
This is Austin Wells under center, the tight end. Trying to draw Timberlane offside. Wells now looks to the sideline, and a timeout comes from Concord. 2.5 minutes gone by. 2nd quarter timeout on the field. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in both Bedford and Londonderry, whether you need home, auto, or business insurance. Beals Insurance gets you the price, quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. All right, back on the field. Out of the timeout, Concord. Looks like they're going to go for it. Doward now under center. Takes a snap, but we get whistles.
Boy, is this going to be a big penalty. Usually it's offensive if it's pre-snap, Nick. So
somebody may have went early.
Yep. I think there might have been a little bit of a lean forward. It looks like you're going to get a 5-yard walk-off here by the officials against Concord. That is a big penalty. You don't see that very often under the leadership of Zach Doward, Nick. Very rarely do you see that.
Well, they have not touched the football.
Why? What's going on there? What is?
And now the punt team is going to come on the field for Concord. I'm not sure if the officials ever gave it the green light to start the play.
I think that's what it probably was, Nick.
So that may have been on the officials.
Right.
Now 4th down and 1. Looks like a punt situation. Plant gets off a boomer just in time, too. Mwangi going to dive. The ball's loose.
Play.
And Concord's got it. Mwangi may have been better served to just let that go. He dives on it. The ball comes loose. One of the Concord Gunners is right there to recover just outside the 16-yard line. And the offense is going to stay on the field here for the Crimson in the red zone, 1st and 10.
Wow, what a turn of events right there, Nick. You could feel all the momentum now going to, I don't know what was going on there, and
made the decision to try and field it. Didn't work out. Concord's on it. Recovered by Brett Tuttle. And now we have an incompletion here on 1st and 10 that's going to set up a 2nd down and 10. So both turnovers, Steve, have benefited Concord tonight, and they both come on special teams.
It's huge. I mean, this is the sort of thing that you got to tighten up. You got to have a strategy here. You know, you know, kind of said in jest there, why don't they just let it go? I agree, Nick. I mean, if it's going that, but you got an offense that just can't be stopped right now, just let it go.
Bahuma on the end around. Good cut at the 10. Still alive at the 5. Looking for the pylon.
He is something else.
Is he in? The officials say touchdown.
Unbelievable run by Ilya Bahoma.
Bahoma around the corner, able to finish it off from 17 yards out. However, Steve, there's a flag on the play. There's a flag along the far sideline at the line of scrimmage. And right now, the officials are going to discuss this one.
Now, the question, it looks like he's moving the ball back with a spot of the foul, and then they're going to mark it off.
Yeah, I think this is
going to
be against Concord. It is. It's a hold. It's a hold against the Concord offense.
Wow.
So the 17-yard touchdown wiped off the board, erasing what was a great individual effort there by Bahoma.
He cuts upfield, Nick, with such speed and acceleration. I mean, he just looks at a whole different level when he turns upfield. And other running backs have it, but they're not as big and strong outside like he is.
So the hold backs them up to the 26. Concord going to roll out Doward. Throws on the move. It's incomplete. Trying to hook up with Turner along the near sideline, but that one out of his radius.
Defensive coordinator of the Owls is all over the defensive unit right now out in the field, Nick. You can begin to feel the pressure kind of, elevating in this game. It's every play counts here. It's just when you get into the second half like this and you've got nobody really able to sustain command. It looked like the Owls were beginning to take command of the game as they were going to receive the punt, and then they kind of give it away, and now Concord takes it down. And
got a 3rd and 17 here. Doward in trouble. Zambrowitz all over him. Gets rid of it. It's incomplete.
Good for Dak to get rid of that ball. I mean, he was back, 11, 12 yards, Nick, in the field, and he was able to get rid of it to a legitimate receiver. Watch this. This is just great athleticism right here.
Zambrowitz untouched into the backfield. Breathing down his neck, had him around the waist, and somehow Doward on his way to the ground.
His knees were close.
Very close.
Yep.
But officially gets rid of it. Incomplete pass, and that allows Jacob Plant to attempt what's going to be, Steve, a 43-yarder from the far hash. Good snap, good hold, kick up, and no good.
Wow, good effort.
Just short. The 43-yarder, no good.
But the owl in the tree dodged a bullet, Nick. I'll tell you that right there. Sorry to interrupt there.
Well, the holding call erases the touchdown. The Timberlane defense forces the long field goal attempt. Jacob Plant comes up short. And for the 3rd time tonight, Steve, Timberlane has held Concord off the board in the red zone.
3rd, right? Yeah.
Third time.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Two botched attempts. One missed field goal, one that never got off the ground because of a bad snap, and 1 4th and 3 failed 4th down conversion.
And that has opened the door, Nick, for the Owls to take over, but they just keep giving it away on special teams.
Still got a 6-point lead, and now the football. Handoff
nice
on
play.
1st and 10, and not much here to the near side.
It was an 84. I don't see an 84 on Concord, Nick. Do you?
No, that's 34.
34. You know what? That's why I don't see one.
That's Galbraith, who's done a lot of damage tonight on both sides of the football for Concord.
He has been a punishing runner alongside Ilya Bahoma tonight. They've done a nice tandem together and carrying his fair share of the load.
Yeah, Enos Yerno, too, has carved out a number of carries for Concord. It's been a committee.
Wow.
Up the middle on 2nd and 10 post. Lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Again, Galbraith right in his face in the hole.
Cologne's really upset at himself for letting that, releasing that. Let's take a look at what happened there. I think he may have not got the kind of body position he wanted to. He's an emotional player, and really like watching him play. I don't know if we're going to be able to see that or not.
Well, that was an area of concern for Coach Fitzgerald and his staff. Wanted his guys to be more physical up front following the loss last week against Portsmouth. Capetta on the rollout, 3rd and 10. The quarterback going to keep it himself. Runs by Smith, gets a block, got the 1st down before stepping out of bounds just shy of the 35-yard line. A 14-yard pickup for Capetta.
That's why I love this guy roll. I like both quarterbacks running out. Watch how he's such a threat to pass the ball. And look, for quarterback to be that big with that kind of speed, he outruns a defensive back. And
good block by Williams downfield.
Both of these teams are trained to block and tackle, Nick.
We get another look Williams able to square up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Capetta, so good with the legs, time and time again over the last couple of years for Timberlane.
Crucial times.
1st and 10. They fake to Williams. They go inside to Post, and he's got the first down and more. Post tackled from behind. Maybe a touchdown saving tackle there by the defensive back, senior Cameron Martin. But not before Post rips off another 20-yard pickup.
I would say that was a touchdown saving tackle for sure, Nick. Boy, has he got acceleration. You know what he reminds me of is a bulky Colby Snow. Colby Snow's got that ability just to be able, and we saw it last week with Jake Albert as well, just running in a gear.
Snow,
is
of course,
beyond everybody else.
The senior from Bedford. We'll see him tomorrow afternoon when they take on Wyndham. And Pinkerton and Jake Albert with a big lead over Spalding at last look to begin the second half.
Nice job by Concord defensive line. They've had their moments. They sure have.
That's Noah Blake in particular. The senior is starting to pile up some tackles along the front lines there for Concord. Hoping to prolong his career at least another week, as tonight really is do or die for the seniors on both clubs. Meanwhile, we're already just about midway through the third quarter. Still the same score as we saw at halftime. Timberlane out in front 20-14. Hoping to make it maybe a 2-score game. If they can add points at the end of this drive. This is Corman, the freshman. And they're going to rule it an incomplete pass. Or are they?
It was live.
Finally, we do get a definitive whistle.
He lost 5 more yards.
After Capetta is ripped down, Coach Fitzgerald is concerned a few yards onto the field. But the players seemingly stopped and then
had nothing to do with the officials.
Yeah,
they didn't blow the whistle.
You see I guess saying it was a pitch, so it was a live football.
Yep.
The freshman Corman, usually so short-handed throughout the season, put that one on the grass, and now the officials are going to pause things here.
We're just having segments, Nick, of sloppy play on both sides of the football. Concord, especially when they're trying to get past, into the red zone, they've got a little sloppy with penalties and holdings and blocks in the backs and things of that nature. And just the offensive line didn't seem to have the surge when they got down inside the 25 or so.
They're going to rule it an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
So the officials talk about it. And what was initially a live ball situation, they now say was an incomplete pass. So a little bit of a break there for the Owls.
But they conference, and that's what you're looking for. The officials at conference talk it out. Everybody gets an opportunity to say what they saw.
3rd and 10.
There you go.
Capetta against a 4-man front. Going to put Williams in motion, take the snap, and keep it himself up the middle where he's met with stiff resistance at the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to go.
Austin Wells.
Wells in the mix along with Concord's Nathan Faudner, who's listed at 5'7", 260, the senior.
Yeah.
Holding down his ground there, snapping that hole shut very quickly. So just past the midway point now, third quarter. 4th and 10 for Timberlane, and Coach Fitzgerald again going to keep the offense on the field.
Yep.
Kind of no man's land here between the 40s.
I think he feels good about his defense right now, Nick, and he also feels good about Capetta handling the ball here on 4th.
Looks like going to face a 4-man rush, trying to get Concord to jump here.
Almost.
Timberlane fans wanted a flag. Capetta takes the snap, 4th and 10. Going to have to make a throw under pressure. It's down the field.
He got it.
It's caught by Williams on the sidelines. No, they say incomplete.
Well, we're going to see that.
The side judge with a definitive gesture there says nope.
Let's see if John and Kristen or Matt have a good view here.
It was very close. Coach Fitzgerald is upset.
They're going to see it here.
Get a couple of boos. Great throw under pressure by Capetta. Williams did haul it in, but were the feet in bounds? Can't tell from that angle.
Yep, certainly can't tell from there. We may see it from here.
Our friend Roger Brown had a great look at it. He was front and center.
I would say he was out of bounds.
Yeah, it looked like maybe the toes have even both
on the white. On the white. It looked like that.
Look,
I mean, that's too far a camera away to really make a definitive answer by us. But the referee was right there.
Don't hold us to it.
Don't hold us to it, but the referee made the call that I saw from a distance.
And again, no hesitation.
No, none.
On the call, which
immediate.
is usually a pretty good indicator on how strongly the official felt about the call. So a great effort by Williams, but it breaks Concord's way. And now Doward on a 1st and 10 is going to lower the shoulder. Hit by Patnode, inbounds near the sideline. Where? At about the 46-yard line? 45 maybe?
I guess Zach can bring it.
46.
I already knew Zach could bring it. I just wanted to say that.
Officially a 5-yard carry for Doward. Not a whole lot of design runs tonight.
Just getting that time of game.
For Doward, but you're right. You want the ball in his hands.
Somebody's going home tonight.
More often than not, I think, from here on out.
And Zach does not want it to be him.
Concord has not scored, Steve, since the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, defense at Timberlane in the red zone. Inside the 30 really has done fabulous.
Inside of 5 minutes, third quarter. Bahuma back to work on a 2nd and 5. Going to drag a couple of defenders with him before he's finally whistled down just shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
It's like 3rd and 2.
Maybe closer to 3rd and 3. He's got to get across the 50 for the first down.
Roger very active down there on the pacing the track, Nick. He's obviously seeing what we're seeing, the elevated sense of urgency becoming here.
Yeah. Doward on a sneak on 3rd and 3. He's got the first down.
Both these quarterbacks, as we discussed earlier, do a great job at that.
Ends up picking up 4 there. A solid carry there on the sneak.
It's going to be an interesting fourth quarter.
We saw a back and forth first quarter with both teams scoring 2 touchdowns on their first 2 drives. It was a blocked extra point that kept Concord in front after 14-13. And then again, the Timberlane defense inside the red zone stepping up in that second quarter. Timberlane gets a touchdown on the last play before halftime, capping off a 2-minute, 80-yard touchdown drive. And that's where we are here, 20-14. Now with 3 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Bahuma, meanwhile, again, great second, third effort on that carry to pick up 8 and set up a 2nd down and 2.
Braden Parent tried to twist him down. You'll see that on the replay, I'm sure. And he's a little gimpy on the left side. It's very slow to get up. So done a good job tonight. They really need him out there.
2nd and 2. Enos Yurnow and Bahuma going to switch sides. Bahuma back in motion near side. Doward looks for the handoff. Nobody back there, and he's swallowed up by Zambrowitz. Zambrowitz has got 2 or 3 tackles for a loss.
Somebody missed their assignment here, Nick. It'd be interesting to see who it was. But, I mean, clearly Zach knew what the play was, and it certainly appeared that way, and there was nobody answering the phone. We'll see here. Oh, that was a quick replay.
Well, may have been miscommunication there for Concord.
Maybe it was edited.
Still manageable here, though, on 3rd and 4. We come up on 2 minutes now to go third quarter, and somebody may have moved. We got flags all over the place, and another procedural penalty against Concord.
Yeah, these 2 offenses are way too good for this, Nick, to be doing this at this juncture of the game. These are basic fundamental things that a playoff team needs to make sure that they can get rid of here in the fourth quarter if they're going to have any chance to win this game. They're down by 6. They can ill afford to lose 5 on that play. These are the plays that I remember at the end of the game.
It's certainly inopportune because a 3rd and 3 becomes a 3rd and 8 here. Could be a big difference.
But it just slows the flow of your offense.
7 in the box for Timberlane. Enos Yurnow on a stretch run, still alive at the 45.
Good speed.
But tackled around the waist right there. That's Liam Kelly, the senior.
Liam with some speed. Look at his cross-cut speed. I call cross-cut because you read your keys the other way. And what did he do? He did not bite down on that counter. And he said, watch number 34 here. See him? Look at that read and react right there. It doesn't get any better than that for a linebacker core. And then that is how you're supposed to read your keys.
Good finish as well with the tackle around the waist. Kelly fired up after that stop. So 4th and 7, just outside of a minute. And now a timeout. Yeah, Concord, that's the second timeout Coach Corcoran's had to use here in the third quarter, leaving him
with just one remaining over the final 13 minutes.
And when you get into a game, Nick, where all of a sudden you need to be able to stop the clock to be able to get it back, these timeouts become extremely important. And both timeouts are, I'm wondering if he sees this game, this point in the game is kind of a do-or-die situation. But you never want to allocate a timeout if you don't have to in that situation.
Well, he's going to respond by bringing the punt unit onto the field anyway.
That's my point.
So I'm not sure if perhaps the personnel wasn't quite ready there.
I think that's what it was. So he may have been forced to call that so we don't get another. But if there was a 12 men on the field or whatever, I would have just let it go. And not. I think 5 yards is less important than the timeout.
Mwangi is the punt returner back deep for Timberlane inside his own 10. He's going to field this on the bounce, make a move to his left, and gets yanked down by the jersey inside the 5-yard line. That's a good tackle for Zach McCoy, the senior.
You could see the situation there with number 29.
It's Mwangi who
may
have made a bad decision on the previous return. He fumbled the football. It cost his team a turnover. This time, short-handed off the bounce.
Probably should have let it go in the end zone in that situation. It's not like a kickoff where you had 10 yards. Just let it go. What's it matter whether it's a 5 or a 2 with Capetta out there?
Now they're at the 5. And got to be careful here to avoid a safety. Capetta in the gun. Going to look for breathing room. Straight quarterback dive.
Yeah, he got what he wanted there, and then some.
Before Blake brings him down.
We'll see what he got.
That's a solid 5, I think. Depends on the spot.
4 anyway.
May have doubled the amount of room to play with here.
But yeah, you're right, Nick. He's close to 5 yards there. Dominic will take that, and so won't Coach Fitzgerald. You're going to see here good offensive surge that you just saw on that offensive line by Timberlane. Pretty much been doing that all game. They've done a great job offensive line-wise. Their issue has been special teams errors. It's really, it isn't just the fact they may have stopped in the red zone, but they didn't get an opportunity to handle the ball again. And
2nd and 5. This is post. Keep fighting here. Looking for that first down marker.
I think he's about a foot
15,
short.
Maybe a little shy.
I think he's about a foot short.
Doug Smith, another stop for Concord.
No, they're going to say yes.
And they're going to spot it just outside the 15-yard line, which is good enough for a first down. And most likely that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter. A scoreless third quarter, which means Timberlane still out in front here, 20-14. Now 12 minutes remaining.
Anyway, we can get an update on that Merrimack game. It's between quarters, Nick, and it is playoff season. So what do we got? Have you got any updates?
If you're good, we'll give it to you on the other side of the break.
All right.
Back in a moment, fourth quarter. Survive and advance. Somebody's season is going to end tonight. Will it be Concord or will it be Timberlane? We begin to find out next. You're watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Well, what a football game we've seen so far. 3 quarters in, preliminary round coverage here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. Timberlane leading Concord 20-14. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. Live from Plastow. Winner advances to next weekend's quarterfinals where they will take on Exeter in Exeter. This is Daniel Post. He scored all 3 of Timberlane's touchdowns tonight, all coming in the first half. Runs of 32, 2, and 4 unofficially tonight for the sophomore Dan Post. Picks up 5 yards on the 1st and 10 carry there to set up a 2nd down and 5 and kick this fourth quarter clock into gear.
Yeah, that's what you're going to watch Coach Fitzgerald if he can control the ground. Oh, he's got a hole.
Post.
Oh, he did. He may
looked
be
a little awkward on his way to the ground and is now slow to get up.
You're not going to like – that did not look good, Nick. That did not look good at all.
The youngster in some pain. Coach Fitzgerald is concerned.
Yeah, I think
we've got a stoppage here on the field.
You hate to see when it happens on a cut-up. You're going to see this on a cut-up here. Watch him cut. Yeah. Oh.
Looks like his left knee may have buckled there.
Yeah.
And Post in some pain here. That's the trainer out there with Coach Fitzgerald. It's Gina Carbone, who's looking, it looks like, at that left leg of Dan Post. Of course, Post, his brothers, came through the program. Part of this talented sophomore class. And again, 3 touchdowns tonight, but in some obvious pain here in the first minute of this fourth quarter.
Yeah, he just took his helmet off and...
Coach Corkum trying to use the downtime here to address his guys. Concord with just 1 timeout left. Concord got off to a good start tonight. Forced a fumble on the opening kickoff, recovered it, set up a short field. A few plays later, they're in the end zone on a 21-yard touchdown run from Devon Dixon. 7-0 just over 2 minutes into the game. Concord with the early lead. Timberlane responds on the next possession. They go down the field. Just outside of 5 minutes to go, they tie the game on a 32-yard touchdown run from the man who is now walking off the field. That's Dan Post.
I am
good sign. He's doing it under his own power.
To see that. Boy, that did not look good, Nick.
No,
it's how knees are blown out.
Right.
And he wouldn't be doing that if his knee was completely blown out.
Just to get our newcomers fully up to speed. Concord on their second possession. Scored on a long touchdown run from the fullback.
Let's hope this young man is.
Nathan Galbraith, 14-7 at that point. Post, 2 plays later, finds himself in the end zone on the heels of a 69-yard touchdown rip from his classmate, Matt Williams. Extra point was blocked. Concord held the lead 14-13 after the first quarter. Second quarter, Timberlane's defense really came alive. Stopped Concord a couple of times in the red zone. And then on the final drive of the first half, as we see here, Capetta on a long run, step out of bounds, just shy of the first down marker after a pickup of 9. Final drive of that second quarter, Owls go almost the length of the field and score a touchdown on the final play before halftime. Post scores from 4 yards out. It's 20-14, Owls at the break. We see a scoreless third quarter, another red zone stop for the Timberlane defense, and now the Owl offense marching here through the first minute of the fourth quarter with the football facing a 2nd down and 1.
I like what I'm seeing down the sidelines with Post.
With
Mr. Post.
He continues to get limber.
He's a tough kid, so he could still be something wrong, and he's just walking it off. But it does look promising, and I'm just thrilled to see him get up. I thought that could have been a lot worse from what at least how he's reacting to it, Nick.
Meanwhile, Capetta on an inside
ringing up
run.
First downs. Yep.
Starting to move the ball consistently. A 5-yard gain there for the senior Capetta. And a fresh set of downs here for the Timberlane offense. Now with a minute in the books here in the fourth quarter.
Other than some of the situations here where there's been missed opportunities and a little bit of sloppy play, the evenness of these two teams. Nice defense there.
So give up the middle, not much. Just the third carry tonight for DeGiulio. He's a kid we saw score 2 touchdowns against Exeter earlier.
Yeah, he had a game.
Back in week 5 of this regular season.
You give him a little open space off tackle, Nick, he can cut it all the way.
Just shows you the depth at the running back position.
Yeah. Well, if you're a running football team and that's your culture, you got to have depth.
But that run only goes for yards. So 2nd down and 9. Ball at the Owl 45-yard line. Concord trying to dig in here. They get 4 down linemen now 2 minutes into this fourth quarter. Rollout, Capetta to his right, throws, got Williams on the sideline. He bobbled it, it's incomplete. No, he got it. Catch made. Wow, the Concord sideline is upset. The coach's box above us just erupted.
Yeah,
I thought Williams may have dropped the football.
I think we're going to get a good look at this here. Watch this.
Catch made initially, hit. Ball, was it out?
It's good. Maybe we get a reverse angle there. You're going to probably see it here. Here's from the other angle. Let's see if he pulls it in
Catch, he got
no,
pinned on the hip, and then it pops out on the hit.
That is a...
Never took it to the ground.
Never took it to the ground.
Not sure if the side judge's angle was screened there.
Could be.
Or what, but I think Timberlane may have caught a break. They pitched to Giulio, going to try and reverse the field. Looks for a block from Capetta. There's a flag on the play.
He's coming back.
DeGulio is finally ripped down inside the 40.
I don't know who it was. I don't want to say any numbers. We'll see it here. It was a blatant hold on the way back there. We'll probably see it here.
It was thrown by the back judge. The flag is down at the 38-yard line. And you're right, Steve, as usual. Hold. Referee John Jalaska.
Ooh, good camera work there.
Big hit. The sideline as well.
Shows you how fast this game is.
Dished out by Teddy Schneebel, sophomore for Concord.
So they're going to bring that one back. It'll still be first down, however. So there's...
Yeah, you're right.
Looks like... is that post? Yeah, looks like they're going to bring post.
Is he back in the huddle?
No. He just went off in the golf cart.
Oh.
But was walking on his own accord. Bending the knee, had hands on his hip, so it wasn't like there was a balance or didn't appear to be a favor.
But
they're going to check that out.
Never a good sign.
Never a good sign.
Taken away from the sideline on the cart. So Timberlane looks like maybe shorthanded over the final 9 minutes here this fourth quarter. Still got a 6-point lead on the scoreboard, and that clock is ticking. Coach Fitzgerald's got one eye on that scoreboard. Meanwhile, officials
stoppage of plays, Nick.
Yeah, the officials aren't quite ready.
No. There's been a lot of that's going on today where the players are set and ready to go, but the officials have not blown the whistle to start play again or just
seen that at least twice, and I think we're seeing it here.
That was the third time I had.
That's going to allow Coach Fitzgerald to make a sub.
Mm-hmm.
Take Mwangi off the field, throw another receiver into the mix. That's Colby Nyon.
Oh.
Capetta up the middle. Looking for the original line of scrimmage. Schneebel and Smith combine on the stop. He gets a couple, maybe 3 on the carry.
Looked to me like he had a great offensive surge off of number 52 there. Let's just see a replay on that. I'm wondering if Capetta, there's Old Glory.
That's the senior lineman Ryan Contos.
Yeah, boy, that's a beautiful flag, isn't it?
Capetta gets 3 yards on that carry to set up a second down and 12.
Score update.
There it is. Ben just let the cat out of the bag. Merrimack, they beat Portsmouth 14-6. I don't know if Steve texted him and told him to put him on.
No, I didn't.
Or what. Meanwhile, Corman incomplete. Freshman can't pull it out, or pull it in, rather, right in front of his head coach. Third down coming up, 3rd and 12.
Concord needs time, Nick, and what this is doing with these drop passes is stopping the clock and still extending this game, giving opportunities for Concord to kind of regroup and stay in the game and ultimately have the kind of time they need. One of the things you've got on the opposition right now is they only have 1 timeout. So if I was the Owls, I'd be attacking the clock and grabbing 35, 40 seconds every single play off the clock and running off tackle, maybe a counter. But don't do anything that's going to stop the clock.
They got a 3-receiver set here. They're going to go to the air, it looks like, on 3rd and 12. Capetta on the rollout. Throws across, has Williams. Catch made.
This is where they give it to him. Wow, they're giving him a really good spot.
And you're right. That is very close to the first down marker.
Oh, that is first down marker right there. Now that looks like, and he's telling them to move it on the sidelines there.
No measurement necessary.
It's
the officials give him the football or spot the football.
That was
just outside of the 33-yard line, a first down, and a big throw there for Capetta on 3rd and 13.
Yeah, wow. That was a generous spot, in my opinion, Nick, right there. But
it works for Timberlane.
It works for Timberlane.
Clock ticking.
It's going to happen.
Now over 4 minutes gone by, fourth quarter. And this drive is eating up close to 6 minutes. Williams in motion. Capetta under center in the eye. They hand to the freshman Corman.
He's got a lane.
Got plenty of speed. Far side. Ball comes out. Concord's got it. It's picked up by the Crimson, and we have a flag on the play to boot. That's Austin Wells, who ends up with the football in his hands, but hang on.
My guess is it's going to be a hold that's declined, Nick, but hey, this game has taken some interesting turns from quarter to quarter. This is a big call right here. Yeah, he just declined it. So it's going to be a holding, and they're going to decline it. Yep.
Third Timberlane turnover tonight, the second by the young freshman Liam Corman. Just a tough night for the youngster.
Yes.
As that one is stripped. Friendly bounce for Wells. And the sure-handed defensive end / tight end has the big recovery for Concord. All right.
It's just the way the game's going to be,
Here we
Nick.
go. With just about 5 minutes gone by in this fourth quarter, Concord trailing by 6, looking for their first points since the first quarter. Doward throws to Bahuma in the flat. Room on the sidelines across the 30 up to the 35, maybe the 36.
That is a tough tackle right there.
Cut down by Mwangi. Second catch tonight for Bahuma. Goes for 9 yards.
Well, why not get Bahuma when you've got Galbraith going in and grinding out some hard yardage middle? Why not? The guy's got a great set of hands. Why not put him out in some open area, stretch that defense out? And I like the call by Jim Corcoran. Whoop, flag again. Boy, this thing's getting
another pre-snap penalty.
Yeah,
and another procedural penalty against the Concord offense.
It's been quite a few.
Again, got to be catching up, I think, to Coach Corkum and his staff.
I agree. So that's not what Concord wants, is to be going backwards, Nick. We're down to, 7:03 and counting in the game. They got to make use of this possession.
You're right, approaching the midway point of this fourth quarter already. Inside, Galbraith continuing to bruise.
Boy, he's
looked
looked
good tonight. 35 to the 38, he does. He's been a number of stops defensively from the linebacker spot.
Well,
of course, he's got a 38-yard touchdown run on offense tonight. And as you mentioned, he shouldered a lot of the running game load, so to speak.
But it's really allowing Bahuma to get out and into a wing position or slot. And he's proved to me he's not just a good runner. He can catch the ball as well so far. It's a good strategy, really. Oh, they got free.
A little start and stop. This is Jackson Borkush. First carry of the night comes midway through the fourth quarter. So saw him handle the football on special teams once earlier, but not going to get much. Never quite found the corner.
What do you think?
Down and 8.
You think this is 4-down territory, or is it still too much time left? It's close.
Well, I think you hit the proverbial nail on the head earlier by saying Concord only has one timeout. So I think that has to factor into the decision.
Definitely.
Now inside of 6 minutes here. 3rd and 8. See if Dower goes to the air here. Knocked down at the line of scrimmage. That's his counterpart, Capetta, who says no soup for you. 4th down, and Coach Corkum will punt with 5.5 to go.
Well, it comes down to big plays, and that right there, folks, is a big play by Capetta.
Got the left hand on it.
He has got a radius on him about 6 feet.
Yeah.
And he just did a terrific job.
He may be longer than that. He's listed at 6'1", 195, and again, those long arms factor in there.
They're just going to let it go. Coach Fitzgerald says, get away from that. I don't care if it rolls down to the half-yard line.
Right.
Give me the football.
Well, not too often, Steve, do you see a team with the lead this late in the game that's on the wrong side of a 3-0 turnover margin.
Right. I was actually thinking that earlier, and you don't see that very often. But this game isn't done yet either.
Right.
So I think to your point is they are defying odds currently, no doubt.
And that would not surprise me if Coach Fitzgerald said, hey, stay away.
Right.
No return necessary. We'll take it where it ends up. And in this case, it ends up at their own 17-yard line. That's the worst starting field position tonight for the Owls. But they're okay with it. A 6-point lead on the board. Oh, no, you're right. They started at their own 5.
5-yard line down there, yeah.
Earlier in the third quarter. But outside of that, their own 17 is the starting spot here. This is DeGulio. Started tonight behind Daniel Post at the tailback spot. Post left the game with an apparent leg injury earlier in this second half. DeGulio taking over. And he gashes this Concord defense for 8 yards on 1st and 10. Brings the clock now inside of 5 minutes to go.
Well, if they get themselves out beyond the 35, 40-yard line, Nick, it's going to open up the playbook a little bit. Begins to the clock gets down to the point where Concord's got to start maybe taking a little more defensive risks. It's an interesting couple, 3 or 4. Whoa! But
ball
not like
loose
that.
on the snap, picked up by the running back.
This is just mistake-ridden football.
DeGulio may have just saved not only a turnover but a touchdown as he picks up the bad snap, is tackled immediately inside the 10-yard line.
Nobody had a chance with this.
Not sure what happened there.
It just like
DeGulio was under center when the snap took place. The quarterback, Capetta, was in the shotgun.
Did it hit somebody? I couldn't tell.
Schneebel was Johnny on the spot there for Concord.
Yep.
On the tackle. But it's costly for Timberlane. Now 3rd and a mile.
Well, clearly that increases the chances that the Concord Crimson will get the ball back. It's going to be a tall task to get a first down. But
so that punt looks more and more like the right decision.
I can't imagine. I don't know how risky it is to throw deep in your own territory in a game like this.
Officially 3rd and 18. Inside of 4 minutes, they stay on the ground. DeGulio with room left side across the 15. And back to the original line of scrimmage at about the 17, maybe the 18-yard line.
Bottom a little
Doward
field
in
position.
on the stop for Concord. They get breathing room for the upcoming punt. 4th down, 11, and again that clock ticking down to 3:20 and counting.
Yeah, but this is not the way that the Owls wanted to be in position right now with 3 minutes left. They want to be able to control
bring the defense
football
back on the field.
No, that's my point. And it's going to be good field position here.
All right.
Even if the receiver, the punt returner, doesn't even catch the ball, they're going to have midfield at least.
Turner standing at the Owl 45-yard line. The dangerous Isaiah Turner. Mwangi trying to use up as much of the clock as possible before the snap here. He's got his toes at his own 5-yard line. Concord looks like they're in a return formation, not a block formation. High snap, handled by Mwangi.
Got a good kickoff.
Yep. Turner wants a fair catch, drops it, and then falls on it.
Well,
fortunately for the Crimson, I think he recovers.
Somebody's got to want to win this game, Nick. This is getting really, back and forth, mistake. And that's exactly what Timberlane wanted. They got the maximum out of that punt that a high school punt is generally going to get, and then some. He almost lost the football, but he was able to get a hold of it there. I don't know if it's in the lights. Whoa! That was close.
They're going to give Timberlane the football. It looked like on first glance that Turner had recovered, but as we saw there on the replay, it was actually Caleb Moley, the sophomore, who digs it out for Timberlane. The officials, after a long conversation,
Coach Corkum
say Timberlane football,
right now.
and you can see Coach Corkum is furious over there on the visitor sideline.
See if we can get another look at. Thank you. We're going to get another look at this, folks. See if we can slow it down, possibly.
Let's see there, off the shoulder, and then below the knee. His kind of momentum takes him forward, and then here comes Moley. At least got the left arm on it.
Oh, so it was a battle.
Yeah.
It was a battle, Nick, under there. So
Pat Note in there as well, trying to rip things loose.
It was a lot more equal possession than I originally thought.
Right. Turner never quite had his arms around it. I think it was kind of pinned between his legs on the ground there.
And there was a battle going on. And it looked to me, Coach Corkum is really upset in that situation. Boy, special teams, Nick, on the kicking game has been an absolute nightmare really here for both teams.
Right. First 3 turnovers came against the return units of Timberlane, and now we get a mistake from the Concord return team. Meanwhile, DeGulio back to work on 1st and 10, going to scrap for extra yards and ends up picking up 8 in the end.
Yeah,
Clock continuing to tick now inside of 2.5.
He fights hard for yardage. He twists upfield, and he's very, very stealth in his approach there. He's very slippery. He's hard to get a square. Look at that. Watch this jab cut right up there, and then he keeps those legs moving.
Yeah, it's that second effort.
That second effort. Keep the legs moving.
Great job tonight. Again, kind of thrown in unexpectedly into the lineup. And not only that, he's been the focal point of the offense here in this 4th quarter with Daniel Post injured. and not expected to return for Timberlane. Meanwhile, Concord trying to stack up the box here, looking for a stop on the ground. We're inside of 2 minutes now. Capetta taking as much of the play clock as he can. 2nd down and 2. Hand off to Guglio, left side. Gets back to the line of scrimmage and no further, or I think they stopped him short. Needed 2. I think only got 1. That's Nathan Fodner in on the stop, the senior for Concord.
I thought he broke the
That's a huge
plane.
tackle.
Yeah, huge tackle. It looked to me, it's hard from our angle because we're offset here, but
Especially with the crown.
both refs said the same thing, so he must not have broken the plane. It looked like it to me that he did. I was ready to say he got it.
Needs to get down to the 35-yard line. The football is at the 36. Meanwhile, Coach Corkum has 1 timeout left, and it's still in his back pocket as of now as we hit the 1-minute mark remaining here in the 4th quarter. 3rd down and 1. First down essentially wins the game. Capetta is going to sneak it, and I think he's got the first. Yes, sir, and listen to this crowd.
Those timeouts loom large right now. Not having 2. Concord had to call 2 others.
Yep, just 54 seconds remaining. 1 timeout remaining for Concord. They had to use the 2 both in the 3rd quarter. And now are seemingly helpless as Timberlane going to get victory formation going, and you can tell how upset the Concord coaches are. We're hearing several bangs and booms above us here in the press box. Just a frustrating way to go down if you're Concord. Held leads tonight of 7-0, 14-7, and 14-13. Gave up a touchdown on the final play of the first half and are unable to score in the second half. Timberlane on their home field going to celebrate a playoff win here. As Coach Corkum not going to use the final timeout. So the Owls, they respond well to their Week 9 loss against Portsmouth. They come back a week later and beat a very good Concord team by a final score of 20-14. The Owls will be in Exeter next week in the quarterfinals. Great job, really, by this defensive unit tonight for Timberlane, able to shut out Concord for the final 3 quarters.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue both offenses and defenses, had their ups and downs, but overall they were pretty consistent. I just give the defense, like you did, Nick, and Timberlane, inside that they just didn't allow the Crimson from Concord to penetrate the red zone too many times.
And even when they did, they held them off the board. 3 red zone stops tonight.
Yeah, but the nature of this game is a special teams debacle. Yeah. I mean, obviously Concord is done for the year. Let's congratulate Jim Corkum and that team on an incredible run. You can clearly see that Concord's back. We'll talk about that in postgame, but the special teams play is going to have to be sweetened up here for Timberlane if they're going to go into Exeter and play that, and I'm sure they will work on this week. But I'll tell you, you break all that away, scrape all that away, and what you've got here is a Timberlane offense and defensive unit that is true playoff contention. They just need to clean up some of the other stuff around it. But they're very fortunate to come out with a win. Could have been worse.
And advance.
Yep.
The name of the game.
You got to win the football
time of year, especially in a 4-round tournament. Coach Corkum, disappointed.
I feel bad for him. He's
things didn't go his way at a couple different points.
That's not the way you want to lose a game. You're going to get the ball back. Yeah,
overall, still a tremendous season. First playoff game in several years for Concord, and a 6-win campaign in 2022. All right. Full recap on the other side, plus a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Both Pinkerton and Merrimack hoping to advance tonight as well. You're watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Hey, I'm Chad, the owner of New Hampshire iPhone Repair. We're New Hampshire's most trusted and affordable repair shop for your iPhone, iPad, iPod, and even Android needs. Don't worry, we're affordable, reliable, and we back our parts with a lifetime warranty. And you know what the best part is? No, what? We can repair your phone while you wait.
I know, that's why I'm here.
Oh, I know, Mrs. Green. Here's your iPad. Good as new. Bring your phone into New Hampshire iPhone Repair today.
I'm Travis Kelsey, and this is Zen Water. The perfect alkaline water for sports hydration and the only water that's in a bottle that prevents ocean pollution. Ultra pure alkaline water in a bottle that prevents ocean pollution. Why would you drink anything else? Seriously, why would you drink anything else?
The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include tickets and discount cards to hundreds of local businesses. MG Sports now has a digital platform where athletes can raise funds in the comfort and safety of their own home. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
Timberlane, a winner tonight on their home field. They beat Concord and end the Crimson Tide season with a 20-14 win. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. First round of the Division I tournament. 2022 NHIAA Division I football tournament. Timberlane will take on Exeter in Exeter next weekend. Concord got out to the start they wanted. Just 2 seconds into the game on the opening kick, they force a fumble. One of the Timberlane upmen, Liam Corman, couldn't quite pull it in. Concord jumps on it. They set up a short field at the Owl 30-yard line. Several plays later, they're in the end zone. A 21-yard touchdown run from Devon Dixon put Concord in front 7-0 with just 2 minutes gone by. Owls, though, respond well. They piece together a lengthy drive. They score with just outside of 5 minutes to go in the first quarter on a 32-yard touchdown run from sophomore Daniel Post, 7-7 at that point. Concord's second possession, same result. Nathaniel Galbraith, the sophomore, ran hard tonight.
Well, he did, sure.
Struck
sure
gold
did.
from 38 yards out. Extra point good, 14-7 Concord at that point. Timberlane late in that first quarter, another quick response. Just 2 plays this time, a 69-yard run from Matt Williams. Sets up the short touchdown run for Dan Post. Extra point, though, was blocked, keeping Concord in front 14-13. That was our score after the first quarter. Second quarter, Owls defense flexes their muscles in the red zone. They force a missed field goal attempt, and then they get a fourth down stop. Both plays coming inside the 20. The latter sets up what ends up being a touchdown drive just before halftime. They go over 80 yards in just over 2 minutes. They run 2 plays in the final 6 seconds. They score on the final play of the first half with just 2.5 seconds to go. A 4-yard touchdown run from Dan Post. Post with the hat trick. All 3 timeouts for Timberlane in that first half. Extra point up and good, 20-14, our halftime score. Then again, Concord gets into the red zone and again come away empty. Another missed field goal. Timberlane, a couple of chances of their own on offense, gave the ball away 2 more times, once on special teams and once on offense. 3 total turnovers tonight for the Owls. And then Concord, in the closing minutes, looked like they had 1 more chance at it on offense, but a fumble on the return from Isaiah Turner, recovered by Timberlane. Concord just 1 timeout remaining at that point, and the Owls run out the clock. A scoreless second half. That's okay with Coach Fitzgerald
as Timberlane survives and advances 20-14. They take on Exeter at Bill Ball Stadium in the quarterfinals next weekend.
All right, a couple things for the game. This Timberlane Owl Band tonight has really entertained us, Nick. We've talked about it all off air all the time.
As usual.
They are a really tight band, and they've got a lot of heart and a lot of spirit at the same time, and they have really...
I'm not sure they're done yet either.
I don't think they are done, and they've just done a terrific job. So hats off to whoever's the director and the trainer of these young people. They just are terrific. As far as the game is concerned, Nick, I'll throw out a thought, and I think it does shed some light on this game when you look at it now after the game's done at the final, looking back. If both teams had taken every single time they were kicked to, whether it was a kickoff or a punt, if they took their 11 guys on their receiving team in both of those crews and just parked them in the end zone and just sat them down the end zone until the ball was down. I mean, obviously, I know the ball goes 10 yards on a kickoff. That's different. But at least on the punts, that both teams would have been better off. So special teams tonight were just really costly and, in my opinion, had way too much impact in this game that either side would want. So I don't know if there was something up in the lights, if there was fog in the air.
That's what I was thinking earlier, too.
There was a glare out. I honestly don't know, but it was consistent across the board. Everybody was struggling.
I'll give it this. Some of those punts were very elevated.
They were.
And come down out of that dark sky with some speed.
Yeah, they were struggling.
But it's not a job I would want.
But Coach Fitzgerald in the second half completely bought into that thought that I just had, and he just had all his guys poisoned. Yeah. It's a way. Never. I don't want it. Just give me my. Right. But again, the mistakes continued. But the bottom line is, Dick, I think, Nick, you nailed it right off. It was the defensive unit in the red zone and the defensive unit of the Owls as a whole, which was the one thing that really shined out. And the other thing on the offensive side of the ball, in the key parts of the game, they were able to move it and get in the end zone. I think that Coach Fitzgerald, his highest moment in this game was how he managed with his quarterback and his offensive unit that late first half drive to come down and get into that 20-point to 20-14 advantage going in. So I think that was a big thing. I mean, Timberlane's got work to do this week, but they're that good that they were able to survive a very good Concord team and come out victorious here in Plastow. And as they go to Exeter next week, they're going to have to fix or have a strategy with their special teams unit to not allow that to happen again.
I told you the band wasn't done.
Yeah, you are right.
They're getting after it below us. We can get a shot of that. That'd be great. As we get into some other scores here, Steve, Merrimack a winner tonight over Portsmouth. Tomahawks get it done on their home field, 14-6. And now they got a chance to knock off the defending champions next week as they take on Londonderry at Lancer Park. Other score at last look, late third quarter.
Could you say that again, Nick? Who's taking on Londonderry next week?
Merrimack.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Following the win tonight over Portsmouth, Merrimack will be at Londonderry next week in the quarters. And in the other first-round game tonight in Division I, a comfortable lead for Pinkerton through three quarters, 35-14 over Spalding. Tomorrow, BG will host Dover in Nashua. That's a 2 o'clock game. And, of course, the hottest ticket in town, in my mind, is where we will be. That's Bedford at Wyndham. That's a 7 versus 10 matchup, but I don't think any of that matters. Two programs that are accustomed to getting it done in big spots. We'll see. Jaguars after a week off. Jack Burns got that crew rested and ready to go. Bedford angry, perhaps, after a loss last week.
You could argue are angry
against Merrimack. So we'll be on the air tomorrow for that Bedford at Wyndham game at 1:45, kickoff at 2 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, one of the things that I think you alluded to it earlier. One of the things that is interesting is when you look at seed 4 through seed 13, right? Yeah. Seed 4 through 13. Those 10 teams, the only kind of situation, and it's only because they had a lot of injuries and they've just been struggling for a while, the Pinkerton game might be, By
the way, that game is gone final.
Gone final.
35-20.
Yeah.
Final score, Astros advance.
So that game is kind of like, okay, that's kind of what we expected. But the other 4 games, Nick, the seeds really haven't mattered. It's kind of like, and this is a preliminary. This isn't even the quarterfinals yet. And it just shows you the parity and how deep.
To counter that point, and I hear you, home team 3-0 so far. higher seeds 3-0 so far. Dover and Bedford obviously tomorrow, hoping to change that.
It's still a lot of parity in the league across the board.
And again, I like the bigger field. I think it would have been a disservice to leave a team like Concord home after a 6-3 regular season, and that would have been the case under the old format. So
I'm glad that pass really didn't make that much difference down here.
Right.
That appeared to be clearly.
But again, they're human beings. They can't be everywhere. We've got the technology on our
side. They
side.
did a good job tonight overall.
I think
a very good job, and a
overall.
very tough game to call.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
And for the most part, kept it moving, which is always what I look for.
They did a good job.
So that's it. 20-14 is the final. I want to thank, first of all, the sponsors for helping us pull this broadcast off tonight. Beals Insurance, of course, MG Sports Fundraising, New Hampshire iPhone Repair, the New Hampshire Tomahawks, and Ghost Energy. We appreciate the ongoing support and look forward to working with them tomorrow as well. How about Angelo Fantasia? No problem getting us our own room up here in the press box. We love coming here to Plastown, working with Angelo and his staff. Want to thank both head coaches for joining us last night, Coach Corkum and Coach Fitzgerald. Their continued cooperation all year was appreciated, and obviously we wish Coach Fitzgerald luck moving forward. For our team here at Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, the new triumphant behind the cameras, Matt Beals, John Barron, and Kristen Beals.
Terrific job tonight.
Once again, providing the spectacular visuals, and the man putting it all together, of course, is the man behind the curtain. Back in the Beals Insurance Studios, our director, Ben Beals, once again, spot on with the replays. My partner, executive producer, Steve Beals, done a great job tonight. Look forward to sharing the microphone with you tomorrow.
Beautiful day tomorrow.
70s.
Tune in, folks.
The region. We're underway at 1:45 kickoff, again at 2 o'clock between Bedford and Wyndham. Final score, final time tonight. Timberlane 20, Concord 14. This has been a presentation of the 2022 NHIAA Division I football tournament. First round coverage here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, presented by Beals Insurance.